Hey, hi, how's it going? Shappy Sway. You've heard the name, you've seen the videos. Honestly, if you haven't, I don't really know why you're here. Go watch them, then come back. Anyways, as you guys know, Shappy Sway makes some very, just gross content. And so me and a lot of other people in the commentary space decided to call him out and just, bring light to the weird ass shit the dude's making. And the topic absolutely blew up. Lots of people were talking about it. Lots of people were watching it. And pretty much everyone was in agreement that Shappy Sway is an extremely weird dude. But after all of that kind of died down a little bit, MK, the trooper he is, decided to pay for Shappy's Patreon and get into his Discord server. And the entire reason he did this was to, try his best to get Shappy in a call with me, MK, obviously, Rith, and Glider Guy. Right, we were pretty much the biggest of the people who talked about Shappy. And I mean, we just wanted him in a call to explain his his weird ass content. We wanted to, seriously, this is a child. Yeah, no, we needed some explanation. And MK was trying to get Shappy to give us that explanation. So he joined the server, obviously, with an alt account named Guy. And I mean, this just shows how dense Shappy is. MK put on a persona of MK's cousin. So he's in the server acting like he's his own cousin, and the way he was acting was as if he was obviously MK's cousin and he hated what MK was doing, so he paid Shappy and joined the server to get them into a call so that they could talk like adults and MK could stop being like a cyberbully. That essentially is the way he acted. That was the story he put on for this Guy character, and Shappy just bought it. He was 100% convinced that MK's cousin was in that server and that he just hated MK. And also just hated commentary channels in general. I mean, honestly, when MK explained that to me and he explained his whole plan, I told him that it was probably the dumbest thing I've ever heard and that it wasn't going to work. I told him that to his face. I said that it wouldn't work. The fact that it did and Shappy bought this blows my mind. But anyways, after quite a bit of conversation between MK's cousin and Shappy, he was eventually able to convince Shappy to join us in a Discord group chat. So, of course, we accepted this. We joined the chat with him. And from there, we obviously planned a time to do the call. But before we get into that, there's a bit of backstory that I need to clear up because there's a few things that we talk about in the call that without context kind of just makes no sense. So first things first, we never told Shappy that Guy was MK. We didn't want him to ban the account immediately from his Discord server because we wanted to be able to see the messages after the call. So we do keep up the lie throughout the call. We mentioned MK's cousin a few times, but just keep in mind, whenever MK's cousin is mentioned, it's actually MK. It's been MK the whole time. Second thing is that Shappy actually sent Rith a copyright strike. Now, thankfully, it didn't go through, so, it was kind of just useless, but he still did send one, which, as you guys know, is a very, very serious thing. That would just take away bro's source of income for 3 months if that went through, and it was very much a false strike. So, of course, we talk about that as well. Also, whenever all of our videos first came out, Shappy had an actual breakdown and made I'd say at least 10 community posts talking about our videos, and about 5 of them were specifically about Rith. He also commented on pretty much every single video that even slightly mentioned him, as well as responding to every comment under their community posts. Dude was just fully crashing out. And I know I showed this in my last video, at least a little bit, but I'm bringing this up now because they have actually deleted all of those community posts, as well as a lot of the comments that they've left on other people's videos. But we do bring it up during the call, so obviously there's some backstory there. Also, once we got in the group chat with Shappy, we were telling him kind of how the interview was going to go and how we planned on keeping it to a regular conversation. And of course, he did not agree to that at first. He wanted to have a whole list of terms and a bunch of stupid bullshit. The type of stuff that a clearly weird person puts in place so that the other people can't prove he's weird, But we just told him no. And that kind of just worked. I mean, obviously it took a little bit of back and forth, but he eventually just caved and decided to go through with the call without all of the terms. I mean, like we said we were going to do. But right after he did that, he sent me a friend request and told me this. He said, I need to send you some things and clarify with you particularly a few points. Now, obviously, I did not want this on my friends list. I honestly thought about telling him no. But, you know, sometimes you got to make a few sacrifices for the bag and DM a creep. So I accepted. And what went on from there was pretty wild. And I do actually bring up these DMs in the call. So I'm just going to read them out. This is literally every single DM sent between me and Shappy. So I'm just going to leak all of them. Basically, the conversation went like this. He said, hey, with 4 Ys, by the way, like kind of weird, but all right. Anyways, I said, what's up? Then he says, I watched your last video just yesterday. I just want to clarify 2 things with you before we do the interview, if that's okay. 1, saying that someone does child when they actually don't is quite sensitive and against the law in the States. Also, a very serious statement that honestly is in bad taste. Please avoid saying stuff like that today. We do push sexual humor that is not for kids. Again, I'm sorry about our SM team being not very professional on the answers, but what you mentioned at the start of your video is a very dangerous matter that we despise, and we have clearly banned it in our Discord community. 2, about the restriction, not for kids and why we are not 18 plus. The info you provided as what it means is not correct. Here is what YouTube does when you tag something as not for kids. YouTube uses the tag to comply with COPPA, which is Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. If your channel is not for kids, your content can include more mature themes like adult humor, violence, or suggestive material, as long as it follows YouTube's community guidelines. And then 3, he says YouTube and YouTube Kids are 2 different apps and different platforms with separate content spaces. Not really too sure why he included that, because, I mean, no fucking shit, but like, I honestly don't know. I've got no idea. I am clarifying this because from all the videos, yours is the only one that can cause legal problems for defamation, which I absolutely want to avoid, as I really want to go through the talk nicely and friendly and have a good time, entertain people, and leave there a good memory. No harsh feelings. I am just transferring this info to you now because I did not see your videos previously myself. Oh, as well, the fact that social media team said that we are 18 plus on YouTube is incorrect. We are not for kids due to what is mentioned above. We are 18 plus everywhere else because YouTube is the only platform that allows PG-13 restrictions and so on. I want to think that they were confused due to the fact. Now, if you haven't watched my last video on Shappy, you're probably very confused. And like, dude, I just don't have the time to explain it. I would just go watch that and then come back. But for the people that have watched that video, you'll know that I brought up the fact that he claims his content is for adults, yet doesn't age restrict it. All he does is mark it as not for kids, which again, I went into a lot of detail about what that means on my last video. Also, we do break into this point during the call, and we kind of find out that this dude just has no clue what he's talking about. Like, he's completely clueless, and when he sent me this DM, I kind of knew that. So instead of explaining anything to him and like arguing in DMs, I just told him we can have the conversation on the 18 plus thing when we do the interview, but on the whole child thing, explain this to me. And I sent him this video.
Wow, Daddy's got a big snake.
Oh.
What are you doing, Dad?
It's called beating the bishop. Soon you'll be doing it too.
Oh, how do you know that?
Well, my arms are getting tired.
Now, before I go into what he says, I would just like to really drive this point home. I mean, dude, if you can look at this video and tell me with a straight face that this character is not a kid, I think there's something wrong with you. I genuinely do. I mean, he looks like a kid. He acts like a kid. There is a very clear difference in the way he looks compared to the obvious adult. Like in every single way possible, this is a kid. So in my last video, I called it what it is. I said that he makes of child characters. And that is what he is referring to in these DMs when he talks about the possibility of defamation. So anyways, after I sent that to him, he says, sure, off you browse old videos, damn autocorrect, I repeat, haha. If you browse old videos and get a bit in the little lore that our very unhinged show has, you will find few episodes where the characters mention their age. None of them are kids. Crappy is 29, for example. Also, that's not the real dad. It's a stepdad character figure. We created it because Crappy is a deeply traumatized character that suffers several mental disorders. We haven't got to this yet because we don't have the budget to make way longer episodes. Mostly Freudian theories like the Electra complex, which at the time I did not look into this at all. In all honesty, I was tired, okay? It was like 3 a.m., and I've got a fucking weirdo in my DMs trying to explain to me how his clear child character isn't a child. Like, I just didn't want to be there. So I didn't look into any of the shit he just said. Matter of fact, I replied with, "We can talk about this on call," which means, in simple terms, fuck off. Which he didn't. Of course, we've got a ton more DMs to go over. But before we read those, I would just like to really explain what he just said, and more specifically, the whole Freudian theories thing. So again, at the time, I didn't look this up, so I didn't even say anything about it. But after the fact, when I was going back through the DMs, I noticed this and decided to give it a search. I didn't know what the fuck a Freudian theory was. I didn't know what the hell the Electra complex was. So I decided to just kind of look into it. And I kind of wish I didn't, because it's pretty disgusting. So pretty much, what Freudian complex is a child's unconscious desire and competition with their same-sex parent for the attention and affection of their opposite-sex parent. And the Electra complex is essentially the same thing, but for specifically females and their desire for their fathers. I just, God, I wish that I read up on this before the call. Like, I just wish that I looked into this earlier, because literally as I am writing this, this is when I'm finding this out. And I didn't bring this up during the call. Let me be very clear. This point is not brought up a single time. I didn't even notice these DMs until now. But I will say it would have been a great point, because when you try to write those specific things into a character that is doing this.
Wow, Daddy's got a big snake.
Oh,
What are you doing, Dad?
Then you try to claim said character is an adult. There is a million red flags there. That genuinely does seem like, in my opinion, he is writing that into his character to excuse him acting and looking like a child. So essentially, he wants to make sexual videos of children, and when pressed about it, he can say, oh no, this is an adult. He just has this mental complex. I think it's disgusting. I think it's a clear cope, but because he wants to make claims that I am actively partaking in defamation and that everything I say is baseless, I'm not just going to say that I think it's disgusting and a cope. I'm going to actually prove that this is a cope. So Freudian complex is broken down into two parts. They're both the same thing, but different for different genders. Right? In females, it's again called the Electra complex, and it's when a girl has an attraction to her father and a resentment for her mother. And the Oedipus complex is for boys, and it's when they have an attraction to their mothers and a resentment for their fathers. Now, neither of these are technically sexual, at least not in a typical sense of actual physical attraction. It's more of a stage that children go through where they kind of learn what sexual attraction is. It's called psychosexual development, and it's when you learn what sexual impulses are and how they feel or whatever, right? Now, Freudian complex, for a very long time, was theorized to affect all children from ages 3 to 6. It was seen as a crucial developmental period of a child's life, but it has very much been proven wrong. It's no longer seen as a universal experience. Actually, it has been proven time and time again that it just doesn't happen when you involve things like cultural and social variation between children. This complex is just not a real thing. And now, whenever children show attraction to the opposite sex parent, psychologists use other things like behavioral theories to prove why that happens. It's no longer seen as a natural part of development. It's seen as a behavioral issue caused by external sources. So the Freudian complex just doesn't exist. And actually, things like the Oedipus complex have been strongly looked down upon and seen as a way to downplay things like sexual abuse. That complex has been used as an excuse multiple times as a way to point the finger at the child when it comes to things like sexual abuse from a parent, right? A way to say well, it's their fault. They were attracted to me. and here's why. It's this theory, right? And the thing is, in the past, it's worked. It has actually worked as a genuine cope because children, after sexual abuse, show signs of attraction to their abuser. It's a very provable fact that there is signs of attraction. So for a very long time, psychologists just thought that it was there the whole time and looked at Freudian complex as the reason it was there. Like, this theory is just disgusting and very much not a real thing. So Shappy using it as an excuse for this specific video honestly disgusts me. I mean, this has been used as a way to downplay sexual assault multiple times in history, and this guy is actively using it to downplay his animation in which this character literally gets raped. And on top of that, even if Freudian complex was a thing, it would just not apply to this video at all. I mean, first of all, he says it himself. This character is a stepdad character, not an actual dad, and according to the theory, Freudian complex applies to biological parents. Also, this is a male-on-male video, and again, Freudian theory has absolutely nothing in it that ever says an attraction to same-sex parents is possible. Also, according to you, Shappy, this character is an adult. You claim he's 29. Well, Freudian complex does not affect adults at all. It just doesn't. It was always seen as a child-only developmental phase. So for that to be some kind of defense for this video, this character that looks like a kid and acts like a kid would literally have to be a kid. And also, on top of that, he would have to be between the ages of 3 to 6. And now, sure, there has been studies done in the past that show adults with the same traits, but it's never sexual. It's never been a sexual trait. It's just always been an attachment to their parent. And as if all of that wasn't bad enough, the shit's not even f***ing real. So in the very, very rare chance of this affecting an adult in a way, it literally doesn't even matter because the shit has been proven wrong. Like, it does not exist. So I can pretty much say with confidence, Shappy, that this video consists of a child getting by his stepdad. And then, when you were told to defend yourself on it, you used a disproven psychological theory that has been used in the past as defense for sexual abuse. I have no f***ing clue why you even thought that would be a good idea. Like, I genuinely think that if you would have just told me that video was a kid getting by his stepdad, I would be less disgusted than I am right now. But the fact that you used this terrible theory that has historically been used to downplay sexual assault as a way to downplay your video of clear sexual assault, like that fucking disgusts me, dude. Like, genuinely, Shappy, you are a vile human being, and there's nothing you can possibly say to make me think otherwise. Like, you're just gross, and you sure as are not beating the child allegations. You're just not doing it. Actually, kind of think that you made them worse. This makes it look a lot worse, dude. This is clear cope, bro. But hey, whatever, man. Anyways, now that that's out of the way, back to the DMs. So after he sent me the disgusting, vile, shitty defense of Freudian theory, and I just didn't catch it at the time, I told him, we will talk about this on call. He says, sure, just wanted to give you some backstory on that. Which I responded with, I knew the background, just don't agree on it. And then he says, I mean, that's on you, and I respect it, but it's definitely incorrect to say that any of our characters are kids, except of Alice's daughter, the rabbit. There's like a little baby rabbit. Anyways, I said, I don't think it is, and I think the contrast in that video shows that. And I'm talking about the contrast between the stepfather character and Crappy, who, they very much look very different, and this looks like a child, right? So that's the contrast I'm talking about. He says, there are many examples of the age of the characters, and I said, like I said, we will have the conversation in call, but all I will say now is that the canonical age argument does not hold up. And he responds with, there is no contrast. The characters are the age we created in the lore like 2 years ago. Interpreting something differently and accusing of child pornography is serious stuff, especially when it's not true. I hope you are more careful this time on our call. Like, they have jobs, mention their age, and so on, and we made that clear from the start. They have girlfriends or wives. Now, the way he said, I hope you're more careful this time on our call, seems like a threat. right? Seems, he already brought up the word defamation. Kind of seems like he's threatening me. Kind of hope you're more careful this time. Don't want to file a lawsuit type shit. So I said, Shappy, if you're trying to threaten me with legal implications, then it's clear to me you don't know the inner workings of YouTube or free speech. I am talking solely about the contrast between Crappy and his stepdad and the way that they speak to each other. We can debate this in call, but I will be headstrong on it. To which he replies, this is no threat. I am just pointing out the reality of it. What you imagine or believe it is against the facts that we absolutely clarify that characters are adults on the show. I am also trying nicely to explain that saying it to someone when it's not actually true and backing it with incomplete info of what not for kids is not an exception in YouTube, as it is not criticism content, but untrue, and may not be nice to go through that in today's talk. So I would really love if you would have gotten some lore before saying stuff like that. Just so, I want this interview to be about what it is and who we are for over 2 years, and I want the fact in general to be true and accurate from each side. Now, listen, if you heard that and were confused about what the hell he was saying, me too. Okay, he's not a native English speaker, so we're just gonna have to let him slide on that. But that was bad. I don't know what a lot of that means, but anyways, I said, and that's fine, Shappy. You can share your side, but just know that there will be differing opinions. And my opinion is that calling a character 29 does not necessarily make them an adult. But like I've said, we can talk about this later. I don't exactly appreciate the fact that you've DM'd me talking about the possibility of defamation. That is definitely a threat. And which he, again, keeping up the cope of this is not a threat, says it's a fact, not a threat. And when someone is 29, it is an adult. You can ask what you want, of course, and I accepted this interview, so free will of speech. Just wanted to let you know some background, because that's allegations that are absolutely not true and really serious. Not something that can be said as if you were calling someone dumb. But we will debate that, I guess, if it's what you want. I was just giving you some background, as you don't seem to have gone deeply onto who our characters are and how old they are or how they are connected to each other. So I responded with, no, Shappy, you're right. I didn't dig into the canonical age of your characters because I simply do not care. You have shown in the past you know how to portray a character that is clearly an adult, and Shappy nor Crappy look anything like those characters. If I have to do genuine research just to know your character is an adult, then clearly you are not portraying the age of that character well enough. So in my opinion, you should not be characters that can so easily be seen as a child. And when you show a clear understanding of what an adult looks like, as seen in the stepdad video, then it's clear to me you are making your characters childish on purpose. But as I've said, we will have this conversation on call. No reason to argue in DMs. He responds with, I accept your free will of thinking, but that is wrong. I created this concept with very specific rules, and I know how old the characters are. Also, they are based on real people that sometimes behave childish, sometimes don't. Still the fact, they are not kids at all, but adults with all their characteristics. Some more mature, some less. Some more perverse, some traumatized, some more realistic. I am happy we are discussing this because it's a very important topic. I will go in depth on these points during the interview, but I wanted you to have some real background on how old and why they are the way they are. You not caring about it does not change the fact that it's our creation, and as so, we determine the characteristics of its lore, and each of them are true and not randomly done. Oh, about the portraying of the characters, they are dogs. We portray the stepdads older and so on, because obviously they are. Someone in their 40s/50s looks older than someone in their late 20s. And we did so carefully, also portraying facts of their jobs, lives with their girlfriends, and so on. Crappy is very immature and dumb as fuck sometimes. Shappy tries to keep it more serious and stable, even if sometimes jumps out of character, which is the contrast we wanted for the show. As well, the stepdad jokes are a part of it in laughter of the other real-life industry. Most videos on those platforms are very much based on, I do my stepsister, my stepmom, blah, 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 my stepdad, blah, blah, blah. So we make satire of it sometimes. Inappropriate satire, maybe, but still satire. We find pages like very hilarious and not quite exciting. Anyways, I will mention this and more during the talk. Like I said, I just wanted to give you some background before the conversation, as you had not asked or researched in it before the show, and you are the only one that makes serious allegations that we don't share, neither have never meant to be. Talk later. Now, this is just not true. I am not the only one who's made serious allegations. I mean, I think I was probably the only one that actually used the word but literally everyone else in the call called him a predator on all of their videos, which is, I mean, pretty much the same thing. You know, I guess pedophile sounds a little bit like crazier, but they're the same thing. So not really too sure what the he's talking about here. I mean, again, it definitely not just me, but anyways, at this point in the night, I was kind of tired, and also kind of pissed off and didn't really want to talk to this disgusting little loser anymore. So I decided to just not. Like, sure, I could have defended my points very easily here, but we were literally 6 hours away from being in a call, so it was just not worth it. But I definitely needed to show these DMs because they are definitely talked about during the call, and quite extensively. Like, there's a very massive section of just talking about this, and it gets pretty heated. So, and I mean, reasonably so. I mean, the dude reached out to me just to threaten me, and the second he got pressed, he immediately went straight for the cope that I thought he would go for, which is the, like, canonical age cope. You know, the cope that has been historically used by plenty of predators to defend things like lolly and clear depictions of child. Yeah, no, he went straight for that. And like I already mentioned, I didn't catch the whole Freudian theory thing at the time, but if I had, that would have probably made the call 1,000 times more heated. And it would probably be an hour longer. So, yeah, I mean, just because that is yet another cope historically used by predators, but that one is used for like genuine children. Like, the canonical age thing is just about fictional characters, which of course is still disgusting. You know, it's not like I'm not defending it, but this shit is real. Like, these DMs have got to be talked about because he literally DM'd me in an attempt to scare me and ended up giving me so much more fuel. Like, I am 100% convinced that this dude is a predator. And if you somehow aren't, I promise you by the end of this call, you will be. I mean, shit, dude, if you think these DMs are adding fuel to the fire, this call is a fucking atomic bomb. Like, he says the dumbest shit I've ever heard, makes himself look like a genuine creep the entire fucking time. So, yeah, no, here it is. The Shappy Sway interview. Wait, before this starts, I just want to let y'all know that I had a few technical difficulties during the call that led to a few losses of audio. They'll all be marked, like, where the audio dies at. So, I mean, it's not going to be too terrible. I think at most I lost like 5 minutes of footage. But if it seems like there's a weird jump here and there, that's why. I don't really know what happened. But I did try my best to keep this as unedited as possible. And out of all the people in this call that are uploading their own videos, this is still very much the most complete unedited one. So you're really not missing much. Anyways, here we go.
We have some questions that we prepared.
That's
That's
awesome.
all right with you, yeah.
We got some bullet points.
Okay, let's go for it. I don't know. You can start whenever you like. I mean,
Rith, you can start.
All right, so my first question is like, what would you say is like the purpose of your channel, and what would be the rating that you would give the content across what you make? Like, because I know on Instagram it says like 18 plus, and then on YouTube you're saying 13 plus. So what's the actual rating here?
okay, so I'll give you some background first and how we started this, because it was actually a project that started like something else from some business brand that was doing some kind of investments here and there, and it was like their mascot, and they had this side project that anyways, they contacted us to develop at first. At the end, that project didn't go as they planned, and they changed direction to other investments and so on. But we got we get to keep the character, one of them. I mean, there was only Shappy at first, which had another name, and from there, the show actually was in the hands of a studio, an animation studio in Ohio, and they were actually doing their best, because we didn't have like a huge budget at the time. I'm actually a fashion designer. I've been working as a fashion designer for many years until I decided to quit. Then I could explain you that too, even though it's not relevant for this question. But basically what we started to do was taking this character, we gave it to the studio, and unfortunately with the budget we had at the time, they were deciding most like the first scripts, and what was to be done and helping us as much as they could with, like I said, the limited amount of money that we had. And then at some point we got some investors, and we were able to actually start to do what we wanted, which is a show mostly for young teenagers and adults. With young teenagers, I mean what we were talking about, like not for kids, like restricted on YouTube, not for kids because they have that option. The other social media doesn't. Otherwise, we would go for that option because we don't show really graphic stuff. And our content actually started with the idea of trying to send messages like South Park used to do when I was younger, because like I grew up in a pretty much messed up environment, unfortunately. I mean, I have an amazing mother, and on the other side, unfortunately, my dad was not much home, and when he was quite difficult, let's say, without entering in details. So it was not the best childhood, and I used to with my best friends, we used to just sneak out and watch these shows like South Park and so on in Europe, which at the time it was actually quite hard to find, and so on. So one of my friends like introduced me to these cartoons, and they were definitely a good way to escape reality for a moment, laugh, and like seeing some content that was very, very pushed and like humor wise. And they
Yo, listen, I hate to interrupt, right? But
Yeah.
the question I was asking is like, what are you rating your content? Like, I get it, the whole backstory and all this other stuff, but like the content you are putting out today on Instagram, and like YouTube and shit like that, is it 18 plus or is it 13?
So in my opinion, and in our opinion in general, as we are not showing graphic stuff, of course the humor is really, really, really mostly I would say sexual based and very, very, very tough jokes sometimes, which I get that. But we actually on YouTube follow the policies that they give us, and like I said, I would do the same in other social media if I could, which is like people that are 14 and above, if they have the permission of their parents, they do already consume a lot of shows like that, and we actually want that kind of audience, not mainly, but also to be part of a future show that is not going to be just sexual jokes or whatever, but actually with a background story and some more like focus on Family Guy or other shows like that go
So,
with
So
that.
is this like a
you'd say
publicity
it's like
stunt?
13. You'd say it's like 13 plus.
I would say
and
I would say
you'd say your content isn't 18 plus specifically.
I would say some videos which are actually
Okay.
at this moment.
Yeah,
I know
If,
there's one age restricted video on your channel. You have one that's
there
like
is
gore.
one.
But out of everything else,
Yeah.
I've
And that was
never really
because
seen any
YouTube
other
age restricted it.
videos.
So that's
No,
the
no,
thing
no.
is that if you're claiming that some of your videos are 13 plus, some of them are 18 plus, what would you say is the medium like?
I would
is it
say
13 plus? Is it 18 plus? What would you say your
I would say
rating would be?
most of the channel in our opinion at least, it goes into content that is 13 plus, so 14 years old
Okay.
and above. Of course,
Okay.
there are a few videos. For example, there is this video that we tried to make, which we were trying to make another show, like more like Happy Tree Friends and more like based on bullying and all that. That is very bloody, the episode, and we tried once and we didn't really like the outcome. We posted it, and that actually, for example, is, if we talk about monetizing, is limited because of the images that are really, really bloody and gore.
Yeah,
So
I
that
think
one,
that the one that was age restricted is gore related. Some dude
Yeah,
getting
it's
his arms
gore-related.
pulled off or something.
Y-
So
It's
okay,
Yeah.
I get what you're
kicking
saying,
and
but so my question for this: if you think that your content is overall 13 plus,
Mhm.
do you think that it is, let's say, appropriate? Do you think that it's appropriate to siphon your 13 to 17, those are still minors? Do you think it's appropriate to siphon them over to your Patreon, which you are very much doing? Would you,
Oh,
which
that-
is very much, I mean, it
No, no,
is
of course.
just
Yeah.
straight up, especially on your Twitter as well. Another thing that is actively available on your channel. Do you think that that is appropriate, or do you think that you should have 18 plus guidelines because you're siphoning them to?
I think what's the show in social media and how the other part of Patreon came out is totally separate things. Of course, we have the link in social media and all that. Mostly, we sponsor that on Instagram and so on stories. And I think it's two really separated things. For example, if you
but
try
it's
to
very
click
not though. Those two things are very much connected because you have links connecting them. I mean, they are very connected. So I would say
but
if you are connecting your porn to your 13 plus content, you are very much siphoning people over there. Whether you are actively doing it on purpose or not, there is a link. You are connecting the two things. Do you think that's appropriate?
Well, okay. Let's think about it like this. So, an OnlyFans girl, for example, their content may not be bad on YouTube. So, McKinley Richardson, like all them, the Jack Doherty crew,
Miller Around,
they
people like
might
that,
not
yeah.
be shocking on YouTube,
Right.
but they are siphoning their kid audience over to their OnlyFans.
Yes,
like
actively.
that's the
And
type
they don't
of
even
comparison
have to
that
mention it. They
They
don't
may
even
not
have
have
to
credit
mention it.
cards, but
So-
there's still the potential that they.
but that's
like,
still
that they
problematic.
End up buying
is,
that, or they
very
end up
much.
seeing.
Like
I
if
mean-
your Patreon links were on your Instagram, because you did limit it to 18 plus, correct?
Yeah.
Right, that's correct.
Okay, yeah. So because your Patreon is linked to your Instagram, that's fine. Okay, it's limited
That's
to
fine,
18 plus.
yeah.
That's cool. But you shouldn't have your 18 plus content on your links. Very easy clickable links that you
Exactly,
brand to
yeah.
your YouTube channel as 13 plus, 13 to 17, still kids, obviously. They see your videos and they have the links right there. And they have very easy access to your link tree, which leads to your Twitter, which we know what's on your Twitter. It's f***ing porn.
I mean,
Yeah, we've
what's
seen
on
the-
Personally,
Twitter-
it's not appropriate.
I mean,
Yeah,
one of the bigger questions I had was that, like, if you have any type of different content on Instagram, because I checked and there's not really much that's different, but your Instagram is 18 plus and you have the same content on YouTube, but it's PG-13.
Mhm.
Yeah, why is that? If
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
the
He
same
explained that
content.
you can't set it not made for kids on Instagram. But
Okay, so like on the content itself on Patreon and so on, and towards YouTube itself, and we're talking about YouTube, the platform itself. Like when you actually have an account that is linked to it, and you click on it, and you get to open the Patreon. First of all is censored, and then you receive a message saying to access this link, you need to be at least 18 or more, and you need to accept the policies. Now, means that if people that are under 18 years old click on that link, they actually should just get out of it because they have an alert that actually advised them that, hey, this content is not for you. Go back to social media because you're not 18.
What do you say about
No,
your
Of course,
Twitter?
that's all well and good. It's all well and good, like leaving the the roadblocks, but like at the end of the day, it's still possible for them to go and
I will
get
finish.
it.
I'm not.
'Cause-
I need to.
Yeah, okay, yeah, my bad. Finish.
It's not filtering things very well, because I can easily go to pornhub.com and it'll say you have to be 18. And if I was like 15 years old, I can still hit enter and I'll enter Pornhub.
And that's
It
what
doesn't
probably,
matter.
That's what probably tons of teenagers do. That's what probably we've done when we
Yeah.
were teenagers. I mean, that's not the point. Like what I want to explain is that there is links in our social media that will actually bring you to these pages where there is illustrations more like wise if you want to compare it with something of our animations. But still, when you actually open those links, there is actually legal things that you need to accept. You just need to press accept. It's true, but that doesn't mean that
Okay, I'm not. I am absolutely not saying that the act of minors clicking to get into Patreon is your fault. I'm not saying that at all. That's definitely not your fault.
You're
If
saying
they are
advertising,
clicking and
yeah.
they're saying yes, jump in, that's on them, and I totally agree. But at the end of the day, you are still the one siphoning them to that page. Also, what do you have to say about the Twitter? What do you have to say about the Twitter? Because I mean, if your content is
Twitter-
13 plus, you are still technically sending minors to a Twitter page that is full of uncensored.
to enter. No. First of all, Twitter, if you see the posts, they are censored. You need to click to see them same
Nah,
way.
they're
But
not.
There's one
I promise you
uncensored
there's
post
not.
on there that we've
There's
seen. yeah.
multiple uncensored posts.
There are. I'll give you the fact that yes, there are some that are censored. I've seen some censored ones. But
There's
there's
multiple
still
that aren't.
a gross
that
amount of
sometimes
like
it's true that
uncensored
we have-
pictures.
yeah, that's true. Sometimes it's true that we have faced problems with Twitter for that, but that's
Yeah.
not also our fault. You know, we have actually contacted Twitter several times with that. They censor some, and then suddenly they are not censored. You know, like
I
what
feel
Twitter
like the best
does.
idea to do
Oh, it's
is
a
just modify
bug?
the image itself and like actually
That's what
censor
we've-
it yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we've
Again,
done.
this
That way
is
to
just
minimize that
completely
margin of
pointless.
error.
This is just completely pointless. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're 13, you click on this Twitter, you can still click on the image and view it. I mean, it's whatever. My whole
Yeah. Of
point is
course,
that you are
of
still
course.
siphoning them over to sites. It doesn't matter
That's your
if this
responsibility.
flimsy little piece of paper tries to keep them out. At the end of the day, you are still siphoning them towards counts. So do you think that your channel should be 13 plus or should it be 18 plus?
I think that my social media, like I said, 13 plus with
I just think you're
obviously.
wrong. I just don't think that's
Well,
the right answer.
Well, you can think what you consider. Anyways,
I mean, I guess it's clear we're not going to come to a conclusion here, but
no,
I think
like
we
we're
can all
not
say that we agree that
definitely-
the links
definitely-
definitely shouldn't be a thing. Like siphoning
they
links
shouldn't.
over shouldn't be a thing. Yeah.
So-
Or if
Okay,
you
let me
wanted
ask you
to,
this.
because I
Let me ask
understand
you
that there's
this
a lot
as
of
well,
money
'cause
to
you
be
have-
made there. If you
Yeah.
wanted
So
to,
you
if
guys
you
do
wanted to
say
send
check
links
out
to
the
your
Twitter and the
Patreon,
Instagram at the end of your own videos, which is kind of confusing to me, given that Beto literally said there's straight up on your channel
yeah,
on
there
Twitter.
is.
I mean,
So
we can.
I don't know why you'd
Listen,
say
my whole point is, if you
to
want
check
to still
the
siphon people
Twitter
towards that,
and
because
the
there's
TikTok
definitely
bio.
money there, you should just restrict your channel to 18 plus. Because at the end of the day, your end goal is to get people to click on these links and pay you. Am I wrong for that? Is that not your end goal?
It's a part of it, but we are not actually
Okay,
asking
so if your
minors.
end goal is to get people to click on this link to, then I am under the belief that every single person you are trying to coerce into looking at should be 18, and there is in fact a button for that on every single video that you post that could
So-
do that.
Can I explain how it works?
Yeah, go for it.
Without being interrupted for
Sure.
2 seconds.
Right, yeah. Once
So-
you're done with that, we'll just close that. We'll close this point out.
Yeah,
We'll
we
move
can
on
go
to
for
the next
something
one.
else.
Yeah.
We can go for something else. But anyways, so you can actually say that it's a part of it. We do many other things. It's a small part of it. We started it for certain reasons and for some communities that actually were very supportive to our content. Communities made of adults mostly, and actually, the thing is that these adults that were required this content at first, we thought it was a joke, and then we started to do it. We enjoy doing it. We enjoy sharing it. They
Okay.
enjoy actually consuming it, and that's cool. And still the same, you click on the link, it says, are you 18 years old or older? By continuing, you may see adult images, videos, writing, and other media, which in our channel, you need to pay for it. Like you need to give your data and you need to actually put your credit card in it to
Well, not
pay
on
for
Twitter.
it. Of course, on Twitter, not, but on Twitter is not
Right.
an app for kids. Twitter, there is
You
tons
can
of
be a
news
kid on Twitter.
violence and
Bro,
I mean,
you
I
could
agree
be
that it's not for
13 and
kids, but
over.
you can still
You
reach
can
out and
definitely be a
use
kid
the
on
app,
Twitter.
yeah.
what you could be or not. That's actually not the point of the app
No,
itself.
I understand the point. It's
Like,
not for
you
children. That is true. But
Yeah,
we
you
can't
get
live
you
by the
get
fact
into
that it's
Twitter, you get
kids
into
4 or
Twitter,
18
and
for.
if the only problem was us, which is not, it's like it's an app for adults. There is gore stuff, there is war stuff, there is war crimes,
Okay.
there is videos about everything. Since Elon Musk bought it, like you can post basically everything there because it has become a pretty much political app in a way, and also an app to divulgate media for adults, not for kids, neither for teens. Neither is our Patreon for teens. Like it says very clearly when you open it as well. It's not like you can see Patreon for free. You need to subscribe to it. By subscribing to it, you need absolutely to give your credit card name and credentials. And a part of that, like if there is teenagers watching porn in our Patreon or watching porn in the hub, in both ways, I really hope that parents know that and they are actually monitoring on what they are consuming at home, especially for one very important thing that actually we usually and no, not usually, sorry, we deeply think of, and it's you get into the hub, you get tons of teenagers. Like I said, as a teenager, I consume pornography. You consume pornography. Don't tell me you didn't. Because I mean, that's what teenagers do after a certain age, and they talk about it with friends and all that. Anyways, the hub is free. We are not
Right.
free. Yeah, you
Well-
can't see our content without paying. Wait a
You
moment,
can
please.
on Twitter.
I mean, Twitter is another story. Like I said, Twitter is not an
not.
app for teenagers, neither for kids. Like the Twitter is an app for grown ass adults, and
No,
most of
You're
it's
still
not.
siphoning kids to it.
No, I
it
mean,
doesn't-
I see his point. His point is true
No,
that
I'm not
Twitter
saying-
is for grown people,
Let
but
me
it's also
finish. We are not siphoning anything. Like if you get on Twitter and you see an image because suddenly Twitter decides to uncensor it when it was censored most of the time, like most of them are, like that's not our problem neither. Like Twitter should have more restrictive things on posts that are sensitive. We're not just talking about sexual posts, but I've seen I can't probably mention this if you're going to post on YouTube, but I mean, I've seen dismember kids from the war and stuff there. I've seen images that are really, 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 really drastic. So it's definitely a news app not made for kids, neither for super young teenagers.
As true as that is, it still is possible to be accessed
That's
by
Twitter's
children.
problem. That's something that Twitter needs to
Okay,
solve.
so
And I'm
this
pretty
is
sure
this is my thing, and this is kind of like my whole point of this, like this entire point. Every time that I ask the question of, do you think that your channel, you just immediately point the finger to every other app. You are still not looking at the fact that you are siphoning kids towards these apps. I don't give a shit what those apps do on their side. I'm saying on your side, you are still sending people to those apps where is readily available.
Let him talk. Let him talk.
Let me talk, please.
No,
I mean,
go
if you
ahead.
keep
Nah, I'm talking about Beto. You talked plenty.
No,
Vito.
you've done quite a bit. And my whole point is that you are continuing to siphon kids over to places where there is porn. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, whether you want to admit it or not, you are sending kids to places where there is porn. I do not give a single shit what they do on their end. My point is, your end, you are sending kids to places where there is porn. I do not think your channel is 13 plus. If you did not have the porn part, I would totally agree with you. It is 13 plus. Kind of cringe, a little weird, but it's fine, right? But you still make these characters.
Of course we do, but
and you are sending, you are actively keeping the links there for your kid audience.
Yeah, that's our issue. That's our issue with it.
We don't have kids.
The links.
That's another thing. Like if there is
you
kids
do though.
in
You have
that,
a large child audience.
Yes, you
if
do.
You, look into
You have a massive
if
child
you look
audience.
into your statistics at all, you will know this. If you read comments, you will know this. I have multiple occasions clicked on a Shappy video, went to the comment section, clicked on the first comment, and it is a clear child who has posted content before. You have a very large child audience. You have a very large child audience, and that is the point of that is YouTube. At the end of the day, that is YouTube.
You don't even have the demographics.
The biggest demographic on YouTube is children, Shappy. So either age restrict your content that you are sending them to porn.
You've had 10 million. You've had more than 10 million views on your channel, right, Shappy? Like you have a ton.
Like
of
you have plenty of the data.
Yeah.
You have way too much of the data to even still be entertaining this. You have way too much of the data. You know you're lying, dude. You know your demographic is kids.
You're not right. And actually, we also use YouTube before.
So you think you have a ton of adults in your audience? Like you think majority of your audience is adults?
I can tell you exactly what we had in the last 2 weeks and in the last 30 days because I have it. You know, I can see it. I can share it. It doesn't matter. But like we have 9% of people that are 13 to 17 years old. 25% is the truth. And then if they lie about
Mate,
everybody knows that statistic.
Everyone lies about their age on YouTube.
It's bullshit. My audience is 35 to 44, and you know that my audience is not adults.
And you know what, Shappy? Listen, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. It's not your fault. If they lie about their age and they get into age-restricted content, that is not your fault. I 100% agree. But I do think it is totally on you to age-restrict your content and at least take the steps to do all that you can do on your end. Because here's the thing. You can do this shit and bro, there will always be minors that are lying and click on shit. I don't think that's your fault at all, but you are not doing anything to keep them away, and that is your fault.
As soon as they start to ask the ID to make accounts, that problem will be solved, definitely. But what I'm saying, first of all, and it's a very important point, we have 4,000 followers on YouTube and hundreds of thousands on Instagram. We barely use YouTube. Anyways, like most of the people that are coming to see our videos now, fortunately or unfortunately, or both, come from your channels for actually the criticism videos you made and so on. You know what I mean?
Oh, come on, dude. That is such a shit point. That is such a bad point.
It's true.
Right. I don't think we're going to agree here. We got
bad point.
We got to just move on.
Nah, move on. That is the dumbest thing I've ever
Let's
heard.
move on.
Jesus,
I'm not going to move on. Like, let's finish to talk about this because it's not a dumb point. It's actually the truth.
It is quite a bad point. It is quite a bad point.
It is a fucking terrible point.
That is a terrible point.
Of course.
Here,
kids are not going to go.
Yes
watch
or no?
content
Do
that
you
they
have
don't want to
18 plus links into your YouTube channel? Do you have 18 plus links?
We have restricted 18 plus links that you need to accept to get.
Okay, and what is your YouTube channel? Is it 13 plus?
Why is that our fault? You know. And
because
you're not
taking the proper precautions to keep them away. If you were,
you have a responsibility still,
dude. You have the responsibility. You should be age restricting your content. You should be.
Like YouTube itself.
I mean, you went out of your way to say, look at our Twitter in the TikTok bio at the end of all of your videos.
You should be age restricting.
You didn't even need to tell them to look at your Twitter.
Definitely. Obviously, if people go to Twitter, there is stuff that they can click on and censor or not, and they can see it, because we honestly consider that we should post on Twitter what we need to post. And
Of
at the
course,
end,
but you wouldn't need to
or
send the
just
link
keep
on
the
your
links
account.
away.
Yeah, you
Or
could keep the
age
links away
restrict your
because
channel
because if
and
you're
do your thing.
if your channels are grown, if your channel is full of grown people in the audience and they really do want to look into you, then a lot of them would actually just take the steps to go to Twitter and look you up, and
you do
then
realize
children wouldn't be looking after
you
you.
also realize that restricting the channel itself at plus 18 doesn't change the fact that these kids would lie and say that they are 18 anyways.
And I
because
already
my
said
God,
that's
definitely-
a
no,
but
but
you're
at that
doing
point-
your
at that
part.
point-
It doesn't matter what the kids
At
already
that
do.
point,
If you
it
label
does-
it 18
yeah,
plus,
at that point,
it'll-
it's not even your
let's
fault.
talk-
If you
let
do
me-
restrict the channel to 18 plus, at that point, it's not your fault.
No,
You've
okay,
done, you've
so
done what you can.
not
to keep
the
let's
them away,
move
which
on.
is
Let's
what we're
move on
saying.
for a second, Shappy. Why
the
won't
content in
you?
this
Why
your
won't
channel.
you restrict your channel to 18 plus? Give me
Yeah.
a reason why you won't do
Because
that.
the content that we actually put on Instagram, on YouTube and so on,
Okay.
is actually not restricted.
Why won't
18.
you restrict your channel to 18 plus if 90% of your views are above 18? You will
Because-
not be losing anything.
We consider that the humor we post, as well as other shows that
Did you
post
even
very
consider the
similar
fact
stuff.
that you're siphoning them towards?
So, like, you mean we should take off the links of
No,
our
I
rest
think
of
you
social
should
media
just,
feeds?
dude. This whole conversation would end if you would just age restrict your content, and you just said
Well,
that 90% of your viewers are above the age of 18.
I mean,
so,
even
hey, it wouldn't
removing
even
the
do
links would
anything.
be still helpful, though.
That's
To be
not-
fair,
removing
the links would
either
still be
A,
helpful.
if you wanted to be right in this scenario, either A, remove the links, or B, age restrict your content.
Yeah,
I mean,
that is
if-
our two, like,
if for you
points
guys
to be
a link that you click on that asks you to be 18,
give me 1 second. My
you
headset
need to
died.
pay
Give me a
to
second.
see the- Yes.
oh, his headset died. Just give me a quick second.
I was saying, if you think that a link that you click on and you go to the channel itself, you actually need to accept that you're 18 to see it, and all the content is restricted until you pay and put your payment method and so on. So you need to have a credit card, or you need to have a payment method and so on that must be on your name or on your parents' name.
You could just say check out our Patreon, and normally, let's be real, children don't have the time to go and look up a Patreon, look you up your own specific channel, and pay for it. Somebody that is actually actively looking for your characters, because let's be real, if they're gonna be that down bad, then they're gonna take the steps. They're gonna go as like look for your channel, look for the Patreon, and then also like buy the content. Let's be honest.
I mean,
And it'd be a lot easier to keep children away like that instead of just having the link in your channel.
First of all, I agree that actually that probably happens, as well as a lot of teenagers actually consume the hub and stuff. Like I said, we
Yeah.
have all done that. Like that's not something new or something horrible. You know, it's there, and it's actually something that exists for a long time. And teenagers, especially teenagers, consume pornography. Like at an adult age and so on. Some people still do. Some people enjoy it. Some people develop other kinds of interests on their personal, intimate life. That's for sure. You know, I totally agree with that. But on the other hand, like, we make sure that yes, there is a link, but there is also an age restriction in the link, that if you accept by lying about your age, you're still not able to see the content. I think we have one photo, if you accept that you're 18, that you can see, but the rest you need to pay for it. And plus you need to agree that you're 18 years old to see it. If you
Right,
still
sure,
think
okay.
that
I think we get that
Okay, but
point.
we
We,
get the point
we
that
understand what you're trying to
kids
say.
can do
but-
whatever they want. If they want to click on an 18 plus link, then that's on them, right? You still have the responsibility to either age restrict your shit, keep it 13 plus, remove the links, because you shouldn't have 18 plus links in a 13 plus audience. And as you said, they can click on 18 plus links to view the content. So knowing that, you have the responsibility to do what you can to not make those 13-year-old kids click on 18 plus content. I don't know
Of course, a
what
child
is a
wouldn't be
big
in-
of your content is 18 plus, as you said, right? It's adults. So you should have absolutely no issue in age restricting your content so that you're still getting the same amount of Patreon subscribers. You're still getting, admittedly, the same amount of views. Big issue with age restricting your deal. Why can't you do 18 plus?
we could delete the link if it comes to that, and then anyways, even though it's restricted when you click on it, but whatever.
Of course, but even though
Like,
the
we could
thing,
do, we
like,
could do that,
like
but
we
you
said,
just a correction. Our social media, when I'm not talking about Patreon, which is obviously for adults, like adults, like our social media, it's not 90% people that are actually 10 years old, 5 years old, like you mentioned in your videos. I mean, that's insane. I mean, maybe there is some that lie about their age. I don't know. I mean, that's, like I said, that's not my problem.
There's many.
Bro,
There's a lot.
answer the
a lot of
question.
users,
Why don't you
majority
age restrict your
probably
content?
Do lie about
We
their
will,
age.
we will maybe remove the link from YouTube, but restricting the content, the jokes, for how whatever push they are, like we don't show any graphics to do so. I do think that it's children, you know, well, not children, but like teenagers and in general kids express this kind of things or think about abuse and so on. As
And
like
that
I
was
said,
the Mary video, right? With the monster.
we tried to make a video. It was
Okay.
extremely complicated to make. It was a mess. Then we posted it and we got a strike because you can see blood and violence in the video.
I see.
We got the strike removed, but we got the video limited for monetization now. It's not a content anyways that we will continue because like we dropped that idea. Of course, we posted it. It took us, of course, we posted it and as not for kids. And that's it, you know, that's the only strike we got. We didn't get any strike for other stuff. Like, I don't know where, I mean, you can see my, what is it called in English? Front page, back page of the YouTube channel.
Page.
Well, you can see the front page. You will see that's the only strike we got. It was removed, thanks God. And then it was just monetized, limited, which I just know now that this works like that. Because like I said, we don't really do much YouTube but we started since you made us quite more famous with your videos, actually.
Yeah, no worries,
So-
no worries.
All right,
fine.
cool,
I'm
cool.
sure we all love to talk
we'll
about
move-
this,
we'll
but
remove-
we do
we'll
need to
remove the links if
follow
that-
a schedule, and we all do.
Yes,
actually need to
please
continue.
remove the
Yeah.
links or
Let's-
age restrict your channel. Decide one of those today, please.
They are
Yeah.
removed already. I already asked.
Alright,
you.
Okay, perfect.
Let me
Thank
check.
you.
Alright.
Thank you.
We did. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
well,
at least we're getting
I
somewhere here.
still slightly disagree with it, but because the links are actually age restricted when you click on them. But anyways, let's
Okay.
Let's move on,
Let's
let's move
come to
on.
meet.
Let's move on to the next point.
Yeah, one of
Yeah.
the
Um,
other
so-
one of the other things we had was that we found your misleading statements to be kind of questionable because we don't actually know
Mhm.
what was misleading that we. That,
What did we
was
say specifically
pointed out
that
in our
you
videos
think was
about you.
misleading?
Yeah.
There,
Is there
there are
anything?
some,
Do you remember that we?
actually, it's not just misleading. It's that they are not the way that you put them there, and that's okay. You know, I mean, I understand you don't know what's behind the idea, neither you know what's behind the show, actually, or what we thought about when we started to do this. You know,
What are the specific things you thought that we said though?
I think some
Yeah,
of
just
these
start with
restricted when
me.
you click on
Like,
them,
what
but
was
anyways.
what was misleading about my videos?
Mm. Specifically for kids, actually, YouTube itself has two different platforms for that, and as
What
well.
about the beginning of your channel when everything was just extremely kid friendly? What was
That's-
that? Like,
yeah,
let the Odyssey of the Soul begin. That's still for grown ups.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
that's not our work. That's actually from the first studio that took the project. And like I said, those videos were not what we are doing now. And when we took over, those videos were actually related with some business company that sub-employed us to actually made some videos for them for their stuff. I'm not going to mention what kind of business and so on because it's confidential stuff and all
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
Like-
that's fine.
So,
That's fine. We
the-
can skip over that.
You said okay. So the whole point that I was trying to make here about the whole 5-year-olds are watching your shit is because even though you labeled your YouTube channel as not made for kids, I do as well. Right, my channel
We all
is
do.
labeled as not made for kids. I've been doing that
all of us
since
do that.
September. I think when was my first video? September 2021. I've been doing that ever since the beginning of my channel. I've been labeling it not made for kids. You've been doing the same thing. That
It's
doesn't
pretty typical
prevent
stuff.
children from still being able to see your videos. I can sign out on YouTube, and in fact, one of my videos, I was logged in on a YouTube account that was 5 years old, and I still was able to view your YouTube shorts perfectly fine. And if you,
Yeah,
if you
that-
want to make
it
this
doesn't
about
do
how
anything.
my
It doesn't do
audience
anything.
was able to view, if you want to talk about how my audience was able to view this content, I went back through your YouTube shorts before I even made my first video about you, and I found plenty of comments where they were saying, "Oh, I'm 6 years old. I'm
Yeah.
8 years old. I'm 9 years old."
Yeah, but there
You
is.
know what I
there
mean?
is-
So
there is-
yes, children do in fact watch your videos.
No, no, no.
By like 6 to 9 years old.
Some of those comments were people just commenting, "I'm 6 years old." They were not.
Okay, but how do you know?
There's
I
no
mean,
possibility.
yeah, dude.
Oh, like in the
Oh, I
comments.
know that. Hey,
There's
this
no
guy's
way of
clearly
knowing,
not
yeah.
6, bro. Come on.
Let me
Can-
answer.
You are so
Let's-
good at pointing the finger. It's actually so crazy, man.
I'm not
Anyways,
pointing
keep
the.
going. You've pointed it the whole fucking call, man. Whole call.
I'm not pointing to anyone. I'm just trying to
Okay.
explain my.
Well, it's his
why
fault.
you're-
He's lying. He's not 6. It's his fault. Come on, dude.
So basically on your videos, there's also comments of people that says, "Hey, I'm gonna be 11. Can you give me a high or whatever like that?" Like either some of them are kids and they are lying about their age. Otherwise, they also shouldn't be able to see your content as audience settings.
No,
as-
because the way that
That's not
works
how
is,
it works.
Yeah, that's not how
Shappy.
it
We're
works.
That's not
just
how it
simply
works
letting
at
you
all.
know
We-
it isn't how it works.
Right.
YouTube uses the
I don't know if
stack
you-
to actually. Can I please?
Yeah, no, go
answer
on,
the
go on, go
question?
on, go on.
YouTube actually uses this tag not for kids to comply with the Children Online Privacy Protection Act, which
know.
means that if your channel is not for kids, you can include more mature themes like adult humor, violence, suggestive content, etc. Now, of course, we go back to the same topic again, which is super repetitive. Yes, there are kids that lie about their age. Yes, there are people that are under 13 that
Shappy,
lie
we're
about
saying
their
the ones
age.
that don't lie about
You
their age
don't
can
have to
still see
lie
your
about
shit.
your age. You don't have to lie about your age when you set your videos as not
When
made
you
for
set your
kids. That's
videos as not
probably
made for
like
kids,
the
that
lowest
sets it as
standard
PG-13.
you can do.
Yeah,
All-
but
okay,
again,
all
a
setting your
account
videos-
that is 5 years old and
all-
can still see your content. He didn't lie about it. He actually put his
All
age as
setting your
5 years old.
videos,
I
all
still
setting
have
your
the Google
videos as not
account.
made for kids does
There's also the
is
second
just get it off YouTube Kids. That's literally it. It
That's
doesn't
it.
get it off actual YouTube, and plenty of kids use actual YouTube.
if you actually, and we know because YouTube actually, when we started to make the channel and so on, now that we are monetizing, etc., does communicate to you these kind of things. If you actually go to see that, there is something called also supervised experience on YouTube, and that's why there are two platforms. There is YouTube, and then there is YouTube Kids. They are two different things.
Yeah, that's when
separated.
you say if your YouTube is made for kids, then it will send your videos to YouTube Kids and the YouTube platform itself. However,
and
you
YouTube
can set it as
itself,
not for kids, so it
YouTube-
won't show up on YouTube Kids.
exactly,
But
because
it still
YouTube,
shows up on YouTube itself.
yeah, YouTube itself is an app that requires you to be 14 at least to have an account of your own. And if you are less than 14, like 13, for example, plus in some countries, I don't know now exactly the countries, but I was also reading on it these days. In some countries, you need to be 15 or 16 to have your own account without your parents' permission. That's actually how it should be. Of course,
No, I mean, there was a channel recently, like one of the recent videos that came out about you by a channel named Gallistic. He made a video. In his video, he actually shows him making another YouTube account, an alternate account that is 10 years old with maximum parental controls, like everything set so that it can't possibly see anything bad.
that's
And he still
absolutely
found your channel.
that's absolutely not possible, except if you give
Well,
the
it is,
channel
and it was shown.
Well,
Would
it
you
is.
like to
It's in
watch
the
the video?
video.
Would you
Go
like
watch
to
it.
watch
It
the part
is
of the
in
video?
fact
Explain-
possible,
I
and
could
it is
explain
done
to me
constantly.
why if it's not for kids, actually you can see it as a kid, because we are eventually tagged not for kids.
Well,
So,
would you like to see the video?
Yeah, I mean, we could
where he does
technically
it?
pull it
Wow,
up.
I
but,
could-
like,
I
I don't
mean, I can
think
pull
Yeah, we
up the
could put this
video.
on the
It
big
really
screen for you.
matters.
but there must
really
there
could.
must be something
If you
there
don't
must be
believe
something
me.
there, because it shouldn't be. Actually, if you have a person that makes an account that is under 14, and I did it myself because I was curious to see if maybe this doesn't work properly or what the fuck, So I did made an account by myself also, and it asks another email and another permission for an adult person to make that account. If you want to have an account that is under 14, in my country, at least in the country where I am now. In other countries, I know the age is 15 or 16, and they will ask you an email from a person that is adult or an adult allowing you to access YouTube, because you shouldn't be otherwise having your own personal account if you're not at least 14. Plus, there is the supervised experience that YouTube provides, which parents can control the content that their younger kids access if they are not using YouTube for kids, but they are using YouTube. You can tag the content as 9+ for videos including vlogs and tutorials. You can tag it +13. You can tag it most of YouTube. I mean, you can check that. I'm not making that up.
Yeah,
You can
Shappy,
actually
you
check
are
it.
pointing the finger so hard. I feel like you're about to poke my
Okay,
eye out,
Shappy,
dude.
I
You
pulled
have
up the
not taken
video.
a
I pulled up the video.
a
for you,
single
okay?
move to restrict your videos. You haven't done it. No,
I pulled up the video for
don't
you,
pull up
right?
the video. It's
But
completely
it's fine. It's
irrelevant.
fine. It's fine.
Yeah, don't worry about
Because
it.
he says it's not. He says it's
Yeah,
not.
it's irrelevant.
possible,
It's
not.
irrelevant. I mean, it
So
happened.
you mean YouTube rules and actually the
There's
not
the
for
account.
kids policies don't work. They worth nothing. They are just there for
10 years
the
old.
sake
Dude,
of
I
it
love
or
how you're
what.
just dancing around this, bro. You are sending kids towards porn sites. Restrict your channel. Age restrict your channel.
And he
I'm
still
not
finds
going
your
to
channel. He
restrict
still
YouTube
finds your
at
channel.
18 because YouTube doesn't require that, because we are PG-13.
We can just move on because you already took the links down. So you know what? At least you're doing something. That's
we
awesome.
already,
Okay.
we already did
we
that.
can just move
How about
on.
as well? Obviously,
All right, here.
YouTube actually has its
What
own
was misleading about Beto's videos?
Yeah, what
About?
was so misleading about my video?
It's not misleading. It's I mean, I texted you this morning, didn't I?
You
I
sure did.
actually checked the first
Okay,
two
we'll get
Sundays.
into that. We'll get into
Yeah.
that after our other point because that's a whole different point we wanted to bring up. But what did you
Okay.
find misleading about Glider Guy's video?
Like I said, we have a social media team that I don't think they approached the topic the proper way. I think they should have just ignored it, just let it be, or just answer.
Yeah, who
correctly.
was sending all those comments? I
Well,
want to
we
know
have
that.
a
Was that
person-
you?
No, we have a person that actually does take care of social media. Like a human being cannot do everything, and we are more.
So that wasn't you.
Personally, me, no. It was actually we
You,
have.
okay. You sent
Who was making all the community
zero
tab
comments.
posts?
It was what?
So you sent 0 comments. That was all your
You didn't
team.
send
All
any of
those
them.
were not you.
The messages I sent to you on Discord, it's me because this is
No,
my
all the
all
YouTube
the
comments.
No, you
like
on
every,
YouTube.
Like,
No, the
The
YouTube,
YouTube
hundreds of
comments.
comments.
the hundreds of comments. We have a person of social media. I already explained you this in the group chat because we cannot handle everything ourselves. So we need somebody to do that, and we already talked to
Right.
them. We already talked
Did
to
you have
them.
any
We already
idea of
actually-
any of
What
these
about
messages?
what
Any of these
about the
comments?
community tab posts? What about the community tab posts?
Well, we are not. None of us is American or English speaker. We're actually from Europe. So yeah, there are typos. That's actually normal. And people type fast, and they were raged and angry, and it's not okay. I think that part actually was definitely our fault to admit. Like people shouldn't answer like that, like crazy like that, and then sending copyright claims and so on without consulting me and the other person that is in charge. But we trusted them, and for the past 2 years, they did a great job. And okay, yeah, they made a mistake, and that shouldn't happen. I think it will not happen again. We actually talked about this because it was not nice to see the answers they put on social media without thinking, without preparing, without knowing exactly what they were answering 100%, and just out of spite. And I do get it. I mean, they love the series. We started this, like I said, with a really limited budget, and now that it's going better, it's actually something that they care about. But I think it's something we will not see again. I personally deleted all the posts also they made on YouTube because they were
So
not
they weren't you either. Those community tab posts weren't you.
no, like I said, we are CEO animator, then we have a social media person, and then we also got other people for other things. You know, you cannot just do everything yourself in an organization where you're actually.
Bro, your social media post guy got to
So
go.
did you have any
Like,
idea who was
Honestly,
the
posting
stuff
those
that he was
community
putting out
posts?
was
good.
wild.
Nice
Because
job.
they posted an
I
hour
did delete
about
them
Riff all targeting him, and
I mean,
also,
I did delete
Yeah,
them
go on.
because I also find them not correct. I don't think those were because we don't have time to do other things. I think they should have consulted before, because behind all the social media and what's going on, the videos and so on, because making the videos we make, rather you like them or not, it takes a few days to do just one of those 10-second shorts. I mean, it's crazy, and you can't, or maybe you can imagine. I don't know if you animate, but still, it's really
I have an
complicated.
animator.
That's great. So, and then you will know that to make a certain quality of animation takes a while. Plus, like I said, it's not like we have Shappy's way only. We also have other things to do and other animations to deliver to other people. So, like, of course,
Yeah.
at some point, I decided to have someone that I trust to run the social media. Maybe my mistake was trusting him too much, because he took some actions that he shouldn't have without consulting us. Like, there is no discussion about that. I mean, on my behalf, I'm sorry about it, because that shouldn't have gone that way for many reasons. Like, the first one, because it's not correct. Some of the information was wrong. Some of the messages were actually not accurate at all with what they said. And also the copyright claim was absolutely unnecessary, because despite we like or
You're
not,
definitely right about that.
yeah, despite or not we like the criticism to your channel, I must say that if we are using YouTube now, it's because of the engagement that you guys provided with your videos and your content. So I think they should have come to talk first, and then not do it directly because they have the power to do so. So, well, we'll learn from it, because it never happened before.
Okay.
So I think they know what to do now next time that we go through something like this, if there is a next time.
Yeah, what a hiccup.
Okay.
I mean, just filing like actual legal documents. Man, oh, what a fuck up. That really sucks.
That's
Oops.
like,
Yeah, okay.
seriously, I don't have anything to say about that. Definitely, you're right. I mean, that shouldn't have been gone. That shouldn't have gone that way.
Quite the fuck up.
Very huge, because I like we were talking, it's not fair to just directly go like that, and we are all content creators one way or another, and at the end it's our mainly how do you say, income, living income and
source. Yeah.
exactly. So like before a person does that, it should definitely need to be something super
Yeah.
serious, like
Oh no,
something
for
really,
sure.
that you don't
Are
have
you saying that your social media guy is the one who filed the lawsuit or the copyright strike? Sorry.
the social
Yeah.
media, the social media person is actually the one that takes care of all the social media actions and so
Okay.
on.
And why do you
And
think he did that? Did he offer a reason as to why he actually sent those strikes, or what?
It's a good question. So when we were talking, and we actually finally got to see me and my partner, which is the animator and the guy that helps me with the style and so on. When we talked to him, he said that he thought it was the right thing to do because he had read the policies of YouTube, and you were using more than 1 minute of content, and that's not okay, and you were actually stealing the content to make your own videos. But the guy probably didn't read the whole thing, or I don't know where he actually got this info, but definitely when I checked it myself, and then when Reith explained it on the Discord chat, like there are certain exceptions, and this is criticism videos or whatever, diss videos or stuff like that. Plus, it's short, so you use several shorts. So, like, I don't think he. I think, in my opinion, according to what I actually perceived, is that this person just did it because he was pissed and he really likes the show and he felt it was unfair and he just went for it.
So
and he thought he was.
Do you still have this guy like hired?
You're not gonna fire a person for one mistake.
I don't know. I think I would fire a person for filing
Yeah,
a false
dude,
legal.
For someone putting your first and last
because he
name, your
got his
home address, and phone
feelings
number
hurt.
on a copyright strike like this, I would be firing him immediately.
Yeah,
Having my own
let's-
personal info on the
let's
front
also
page or
keep in
something like
mind-
that.
Let's also keep in mind what he agreed to in this copyright strike. You do know, like, did you see all the things that he had to agree to? The bottom one being, like, my channel will be terminated if this is a false strike, which it obviously was a false strike.
Yeah, very
the
well.
channel
likely.
You had
should
the
be
potential
gone
of-
by now.
yeah.
But of
Like,
course,
you had the-
YouTube
your
does
channel-
its thing. But
The
We did
chance of that
receive
being deleted was very high.
Yeah, I mean, we did receive the reply from YouTube, which I read, and YouTube says that like they understand that why we sent this copyright strike, blah 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 blah, but it actually doesn't comply because it's an exception, it's criticism videos, plus it's not 1 straight minute of content or an audio that is copyrighted and stuff like that. So they just said basically,
we're sneaky, huh?
next time you or your team or whatever, next time your channel makes
Yeah,
a
you got-
copyright claim, you need to actually make sure you know the rules properly. Which
So you got a lucky slap on the hand.
Yeah, you understand how
honestly,
fortunate
I
you
would
were, right?
I would pray to
I mean-
YouTube. I mean, they
I mean,
really
That was
saved
really
my life.
like you were
if the
extremely
channel was
fortunate for
banned
that.
because of that, definitely we will change the person in charge of running the social media and using my signature legally to do things. At the moment, he doesn't. At the moment, he doesn't have the signature anymore. So
Yeah, I would take him off of doing
Exactly.
something like that.
He's gonna be
Well, I'm willing to bet that
less
he didn't even
important.
read anything at all, because whenever this person, this quote unquote attorney, was filing the claim or the copyright strike against my channel, he had to read this specific part. It says, "Does this significantly transform the original work? Does it serve the same does it fall under fair use as an exception to copyright?" Which, if you read a little bit more, it talks about commentary and criticism and stuff like that.
I mean,
So did he read anything?
Nah, I think he probably did it out of spite. Probably read the
So
beginning.
this guy
or-
got mad, made like six community
he
posts
got-
talking directly about Rith, and then sent a false copyright strike, which is very illegal, and you still have him on pay. Kind of interesting, I guess.
We took away the fact that he can actually use the signature at the moment, and he will.
Right, so now he can't do a legal crash out, but he's still. I mean,
I would hope.
Yeah,
that
let's
he
just
doesn't-
hire an attorney that
person.
acts on emotions.
Let's
Yeah.
hope he doesn't crash out on comments too. Otherwise, of course, we'll find
let's
somebody
not
else.
get personal. Let's stay business related. I'd probably give him
Yeah,
that
I mean,
advice.
I mean,
And
it's not
also-
like-
It was really
it's
unprofessional.
fair questions. I mean, these questions are fair. I think it was a huge up, but still, I think it's the first time he makes a mistake. We took away now he cannot fill anything. Like now, if I need to send a copyright thing, I will do it myself.
I don't think
and-
legal
should be.
documents is a mistake. I just don't think that that's even possible to be a mistake. That's like kind of the whole point of them.
What do you mean?
I mean,
cannot
I
be
think you just have I think you just have a guy who's like working entirely off of emotion running your channel right now.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
think
maybe
it's a
not
bright
this-
idea.
I hope that now after this intervention we had in this meeting, after all this mess, he will just stick to just answering comments and being actually professional on the channel. If we
Yeah,
see now,
I don't think you're very safe legally with him in charge because he also tried to involve me in the copyright strike you sent to Riff. I don't know if you
Yeah, that's
like
if he
not a thing you
expected
can
that
do.
to actually
It's just not
get
even a
me
thing
taken
you can
down as
do.
well.
He
That's not a-
he
Like, you
treated
don't
this
add
copyright
me-
strike more as like a beg to YouTube as opposed to a legal document. I mean,
Yeah.
have you read this
Oh,
strike?
he said,
Look
please
at the
hurry. This
response
is
that this guy
urgent and
put.
escalating unnecessarily. We need the harassment to stop. We've made for kids. Bro, he wrote PLS like 3 times. PLS. That's not something you do
And
in a
also,
legal
for an
document.
attorney, he doesn't know
That's not
very
very
much about the
professional,
law if
yeah.
he's saying this should be illegal. Like,
This
an attorney
is
doesn't
urgent and
say that.
escalating.
Yeah, that's not okay.
If you're an attorney, you
No.
should already know the law.
100%, like there is no discussion that it was a huge up because I don't know, he has no experience. I mean, myself,
Yeah,
I don't have
massive.
any experience on YouTube. That's why I don't manage. I thought he maybe would do things a little bit more professionally. I think he just got pissed or something and
Yeah,
just
bro, he put your
He
full
definitely
name,
did, yeah.
2 email addresses,
Oopsie,
your
got a
home
little
address.
mad.
I saw that.
It's
I
a
saw that.
legal document that could have ruined this guy's source of income. Oops.
Definitely.
Oh man.
could have actually got our channel banned. Fortunately, it didn't happen. I do believe in second chances, but in this case, he will not be.
In this case, you are lucky.
In this case, I'm
He
lucky,
was
and
very
also
fortunate.
he will not be handling any copyright stuff anymore because that's not going to happen again.
I don't
Let's
think
see
you
at
should handle anything if I'm being honest.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Well,
Well, that's
let's
all
hope
good. We can move
let's
on now
hope
from this
we
point
can
since we've all
handle-
agreed
Yeah.
on this.
but we will agree on
The
this.
next thing,
We got to revisit Beto.
Mhm.
yes,
Yeah.
Beto,
Beto
Beto
messages,
and Beto's DMs with you.
Yeah, are we? I guess we're gonna open up the can of worms. So, okay,
Yep.
yeah. So about the whole DMs thing. I mean, first of
Mhm.
all, you said it's not a threat. It was a threat. I mean, you
Not at
did
all.
threaten. I mean, you did just say that it was, defamation,
No.
which that's kind of a threat. Even just to bring
just-
up that word, it's a
just-
threat.
I just told you that I recently saw your video today because I didn't have the chance. I mean, I saw all Riz videos. I saw all
Mhm.
Writer Guy videos. I saw MK, one of the 2 videos. I don't know if you posted more than 2, but anyways, I saw some of them, but I didn't see any of your videos until today.
Okay.
Or I don't know what time it was, but anyways, today or yesterday night, I forgot. And I went through the first 2 sentences you say in the video, and it's really serious accusations. And it's not a threat. It's just like,
Right.
I saw it.
And I'll
I
repeat
thought
that sentence. I said that you make child porn. Is that the one you're?
yes, and also the
Mhm.
it's like accusing someone of that is really not okay, and publicly, especially if it's not true, because we don't make child porn. We don't make porn with children. So
It's debatable.
So
that's not.
I mean, we can
debatable.
just agree to
It's not
disagree here.
disgusting.
It is debatable because
It is
your
a very gray
characters
area.
are very much children in multiple of the videos, except you just kind of rope them into this whole 29-year-old trope. Just like the video I sent you. I mean, again, you sat and you did the immediate cope that I thought you would of, oh, he's canonically 29. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's a video about this guy walking up to his stepdad, talking very childish, acting as if he doesn't know what masturbation is. It's very, very much
I do understand.
a
I do
child.
understand. Yeah, I did
He
understand. I
very
did
much
understand.
shows the mental capacity of
there is
somebody
a-
that's not a grown adult.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's not how it work or how it works or how we picture that. Neither how
Of
we
course.
created that. But
Of course, but
the
it's
thing,
still
the
do-
thing
you
is,
you do see how that shows, like how
I
that
mean,
looks to an audience that doesn't know.
you can misinterpret that because of the dialogue and so on. Okay, but there is actually
It's
a
not
whole thing.
misinterpreted. I think I brought
of
in the
course.
interpretation you wanted.
You can have the interpretation you want. One thing is your
No, you
interpretation of
wanted.
it. Another thing. No, I like
This
that's
is the
point.
message you pushed. You made that kid look
I mean,
like a
that's what
child and
you-
act like a child.
That's what
You
you,
did that.
say,
though.
but like actually,
No,
if you
it's just like factual information.
can I answer, please?
No,
Like,
I mean this is dumb cope. I'm not going to let you sit
No,
here
there
and
is
talk
not-
about
there
the
is-
canonical age. It's
I mean,
not a
if you
good
say
cope.
something, if you say something about the show of another person that you haven't created, neither thought about it or anything, at least you should hear the other side, which is that if you go for 2023, for example, down to the Instagram channel, I don't know if it's on YouTube too, but on Instagram, definitely you will find it. You will actually see the whole progression of these characters. It's not just we only mention the age, but they have works, they live with their girlfriends, they actually do the normal things that adult people do, and they actually mention their age constantly in several videos. Plus, we also have a few episodes where we show them in the late 90s and so on when they were kids, and it's other type of humor related to that. Then we show them grown up and so on. I mean, there was a whole procedure on that. Plus, another thing more, by like we're using pluses today, so plus. One additional thing to that is also that, that video is kind of very pushed, and that we do this kind of stuff also for the same reason as before, which I explained to you. We are not very happy and into the hub industry, and most of the videos that people see there are stepmom, stepdad, stepbrother,
Right.
step this,
Very
that.
clearly adults.
Yes.
Why did you
And in
make
this
him
case,
childish?
We
Why
didn't.
did you make him act like a
dialogue.
kid?
The dialogue is childish because Crappy is a character that is sometimes innocent or pretends to
Oh,
be
he's
innocent.
sometimes innocent. Okay. So he
Like a
he
child.
walked up. I mean,
So you
dude,
can see how that can
he
be
acts
interpreted terribly.
exactly
I can
like
see
a
how
kid.
that can be interpreted, but it's nothing else than an interpretation
Okay,
from
so
your side.
I would just like to
You
back
can
it up for a
stick
second.
to
You
it or
said that it's
not.
not how that
No.
works. You said that that's not how it works. So
Yeah.
are you saying that how it works is, oh, I made it so I can pick the age, and if I pick an age above 18, I can sexualize this character? Is
What
that
are you talking about? Of course,
okay?
I can
So
pick
okay,
my
cool.
character.
So you think that it's okay
Why
to
can't
sexualize characters that look like kids?
They
Just
don't look
because,
like
they
Yeah,
do.
They are kids.
Be-
Yeah,
they
speak
do.
like kids.
And
Okay, let's not say look. Let's just say act then. Act like kids. So
they
you
do
can
act
say-
like kids. They do look like kids. There's multiple
Sometimes
occasions
they
where
have
videos
childish
look
childish behavior,
like a
but
child.
like a childish behavior.
So
like
do
a
you
child
think if
is
I
not-
drew
So you'd
a kid
romanticize that.
I mean, if I drew a character that looks exactly like a kid, and then I was like, okay, this is a 40-year-old person, would
That's
you then
another
say
story.
that
Our
looks
characters
that
are
I can
fucking
just
dogs.
draw of that?
I mean, what the f are you talking about? Our characters are dogs, first of all, and
my-
they are actually since 2023. We made a lot of care. We were very careful to actually specify who they were, what they were doing, what was their age, their girlfriends, their lifestyles, because also it's characters based on people we know or on facts of different people we know, plus ourselves and so on, and that we wanted to actually depict all that together in Crappy. If you go deeper in the characters, you will see that also we did this dualism of one character being more mature, more responsible, actually adult in the situation, and the other one being the same age, an adult too, but being sometimes childish, sometimes inappropriate, sometimes he is violent, sometimes, I mean, like a totally messed up character, and in some other occasions, Shappy also gets out of the character, but not as much. But well, we have many other characters that recently we are not using much, but behind the whole thing, I mean, you can start with the historical of the channel and how we started. Like, of course, I do understand that somebody can misinterpret that or interpret that the way they want. I mean, that's not how it is, though. That's not what we wrote. That's not what we created at first. Neither what we made our characters be like. Like, they have very, very specific traits. Doesn't change the fact that they are adults. They are based on friends of ours, of our personality too, all mixed up together, and they have
Okay.
different moments,
You have to
So-
see this on a per video basis. So for that specific video where we're
Yeah,
talking
there's going to
about
be
someone who's
onlookers that
clearly
never
a
seen your content
child,
before. They don't
when-
know any backstory.
when
but they
people
honestly
scroll
don't even
through their
have to.
shorts feed, a brand new viewer who's never seen your channel before has no idea who you are. They're going to see that. They could
Exactly.
be extremely young.
And I
They're
already
going to see
said
like
this.
that's disgusting.
I mean, we've already talked about this.
I mean,
So
I do get that.
you did
That's
give the whole, like, there's lore to them and that they're whatever. But
Of course.
again, dude, if you are able to look at a character and immediately not think it's a kid, then you are very clearly not portraying the maturity, the age well enough. And so I've got a question for you. I've got a question for you. If you look at the chat real quick, you see this little character right here? Do you know who that is? You got any idea who that is?
No.
So that is a character called Monster Girl from Invincible. She is canonically 24. You think we can make that? You think we can have her her stepdad? Is that something you think?
I don't think you need to do one thing or another thing. I mean, you need to do what you think is correct for
Well,
you.
do you think it'll be
Do
correct?
you think it would be okay?
we want to
Because she is
your point of
canonically
view.
24.
I think depends on what's the background on it. If you're actually trying to depict something that is in the hub or in other places that you find absolutely not okay, or absolutely hilarious, or absolutely not arousing, and you depict it in another scenario.
We just want to
and
know
it-
your opinion. Just your
Like,
opinion.
yeah.
Don't like.
Again,
don't-
what's
this
his
is
thoughts?
just like a.
Yeah.
I'm explaining my opinion. My opinion is, I think it's totally fine, depending.
I don't think there's
on,
any nuance to this. I don't think there's a single ounce of nuance to this. It's a yes
So
or
you
no.
think it
Do
would
you
be
think
fine?
we could sexualize this character? Yes or no?
I don't know who is this character. I mean,
Look at her.
Character.
Just look at her. Just look at
okay.
her.
Here's all you need to know.
No, don't give. No,
She
no
has
need
a-
for the lore. Just
thinks that
look at
actually-
her.
No need for any law. Okay.
If the author thinks that actually making her having this kind of humor part and so on, and say that or do that, I would be fine with it. I'm not going to judge this person because it's his adult characters. He probably has a reason why he does
her
it.
Her full like body, just not just
Yeah.
her face. You know, so we can get like a real image of this.
Yeah,
Who cares
I'm
about the
looking
body or
right
the
now.
face? Is the character is 24? You said it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
your
canonically, right?
It's
Yeah.
not your character.
Yeah.
It's not my character. It's not anyone's character. I don't even know who's the author, but it's this person's character. They can do with the character what they consider it is, and then they probably have.
And would you find it to
reasons
be
to
okay
backwards
if they
step.
did that? Then would you
I would
find it to
not-
be okay?
Yeah,
will
yeah,
not
now you
let's
can
go.
see the full picture of her. So
Bro.
are we making that,
This
Shappy? What do you
childlike
think?
adult.
I don't know if they do porn of their own characters that are adults. It's not
Shappy,
my concern.
it's,
I'm not gonna
there's
judge.
no
Okay.
nuance.
Here, let's do another
should this
character.
be
Let's do another
sexualized? Do you
character.
think this should be
What about that
sexualized?
one? What about that character?
Yeah.
She's 400 years old. Is it okay to sexualize her?
I mean, this is a very, very, very serious topic about Japanese animation, that actually they depict actual kids, like kids. We don't depict fucking kids, dudes. Like they
Really?
depict kids and they say they are. No, we don't.
I mean,
Send the picture
They
of
are
the girl
dogs,
under the
first of
table,
all.
please.
That's
real
why we
quick.
don't use
Under the
Yeah.
table. Yeah.
so this is a grown adult.
This is
That's
the
an
sister.
adult?
This is the sister of Shappy. So yeah, it's an adult, definitely.
I
They are
actually
adult.
say that
Well-
she's 32, so yes, she's an adult.
Well,
Okay, so
interestingly
that
enough,
goes
I
back
don't
to my
really
question
care how
about
old you
Monster Girl
think
here.
this character is.
So,
If you look
Shappy,
at
do
all
you
the top
believe-
comments of this YouTube short, you can see the top comment right above your name. It says, "Isn't that a child?" Absolutely,
No.
everybody is not being fooled. They think that that is a child.
Exactly.
That's
If,
not
the
how-
if you scroll onto a character and and your first thought is, "Oh my god, that's a child," and then it's immediately getting sexualized, then clearly you are doing something wrong to push the age of this character. You know how to make characters look like adults. You saw the stepdad video. You know that looks like an adult,
you're
and in
talking about
everybody's
characters
eyes, that looks like an adult. So why the are you not doing it for the other characters that you have actively sucking on your shorts?
it's
You
really-
disgust
it's
me,
really-
Shappy. You disgust me. Genuinely, you disgust me.
I got that from your videos, but
Yeah,
it's okay. I'm
yeah.
not gonna.
But I'm not- yeah, and then you got that point, and then you immediately DM me, "Hey, this is defamation." Yeah, get the out of here. If you want to
you
take me to
shouldn't-
court,
you shouldn't
Shappy,
say-
you
you
totally
shouldn't-
can.
On the first hand, we don't use human characters. We use dog form characters purposefully.
That are
and we
kids.
can decide-
Okay,
we
so
can decide-
Shappy, do
No,
you
That are
think
kid-
if you
they're-
showed that character
Please,
to
guys,
10
shut a
people on the
moment,
street,
stop and let me speak.
all of
They are
them would
not kids,
say,
and you cannot decide if they are kids or not. We
I
came with
can.
a lore
would
that
you assume?
I can.
Would you
Yeah,
assume?
Yeah,
I
we
can look
could.
at them and be like, "That's a kid."
you're a person
looks
that
like a
actually
kid.
makes videos about
Everybody
other
thinks
people
that it
without
looks
even
like a
checking
kid,
it.
so it's a kid.
Scroll up twice.
Whether you
Scroll up
like
twice.
to or not.
Scroll up twice.
I don't
Do you
care
think
what-
this
I don't
character?
care what-
Do you think this character should be made on? Yes or no? You still have not answered that a single time. Can we
He said no.
sexualize
He
this
said
character? She's 24.
his answer was if the author did it, it would be fine with him. He wouldn't care, which I
I
think is
already-
fucking disgusting.
I
I'm not gonna lie.
already answered to that question. So we
Answer
don't
it.
use human characters.
Yes or no?
I haven't
Do
heard a
you think
yes or
this
no
character
once from you.
Can be sexualized? Do you think this character should be sexualized, Chappy? Yes or no?
I think that if the author considers so, they should.
No, I think yes or no.
Yeah, let's
That's
quit
the only
pointing the
fucking
finger.
answer you
Okay,
can-
let's internalize
Yes.
that, Shappy.
At the
Do
same
you
time-
think
at
that
the
this
same
character
time,
should
we
be
don't use
sexualized?
human characters.
Yes or
We don't-
no, Shappy?
Be fair, we're
Yes or
here to pick
no?
your brain, not the author of Invincible.
I don't give a about the author of Invincible. What do you think?
I have no right to say anything. We don't use human characters because we think it's
Oh my
inappropriate. That's
God.
why we
Do
use.
you
dogs.
think this character could be sexualized or not? And would you be okay with if they were, knowing that
Every
they're
adult-
canonically 24?
every adult character is actually totally allowed to be sexualized because it's an adult and can actually get into sexual
You
behavior.
disgust
That's
me.
no problem. They are
Shappy.
adults. I don't
You
care.
disgust
dude.
me.
So
In
shocking
every-
that you cannot
every
answer
way.
this question.
I just said if a character is an adult and they want to actually sexualize them because they are adults and make scenes out of them, I don't see the problem. Like on the other
Okay.
hand, on the other
So
hand,
you're
it's-
fine
So the fact
with
that
the
they look like a child is
400-year-old
fine.
lolly right here. You're perfectly
No,
fine
no.
if there's.
We're talking about the character. No, don't do that. We're talking about the invincible character on the
Okay,
anime
yeah, we'll leave-
side.
Okay,
on the
well they're
anime
both
side,
kids.
They're both kids.
No,
yeah.
on the no, one is 24 and the other one says it's 400 years old, but it's definitely a kid. Our characters are dogs and are not kids because you're not nobody to decide how old our characters that we created years ago. I mean, what the fuck?
Okay, so Shappy, do you think if we showed this to a relative or a family member, and you asked them, "Oh, do you think this is an adult or an adult grown dog or a child?" What would you
I don't
think?
know. You think you mean my characters?
Yeah, this dog at the bottom.
Yeah,
of
what
the
would
if I
be
were
the
to show
general
that-
outlook
that
on your
girl
If you was to
character?
dog.
ask, yeah,
I mean,
most
everybody-
people, if you was to show this character to most people, most of your audience, and ask how old is this character, what do you think they'd say? Do you think they'd say that's a grown adult? That's what our question here is.
You're not understanding what I'm saying. It's not what
No,
they
we
say.
know you. Yeah, we know you're the one that says yes. This is
Yes,
a grown.
we
okay, we understand
get
that.
what you're
The
saying.
age they're grown.
It's
yeah.
my
But
character.
What is the
It's
It's how
perception?
we interpret them. It's
What
how
is the
you-
audience perception?
Yeah, the
It-
audience
it's not-
perception is very important when you make content. Like, if a person is watching your things and thinks they're not going to go and look for the lore and say, "Oh, let me see how old this character." They're just going to look at it at face value and say,
problem,
"Oh."
dude. This is
Of
our
course,
animation.
of course, it's not your
style.
problem. It's not your
What do you
problem. It's
want
your
me to do?
animation. Of course, you can
What
do
do
what you want.
us
At the
to
end of
do?
the day,
Change style
you have
suddenly
free
out of
will.
the blue? We've been
But the
doing
problem
this
here
for
is
years,
the fact that that looks like a child. Does that not make you feel like?
So
does that
no,
not make you
because
feel some
like,
type of
if
way?
you watch if you watch these videos and you think these characters are children, makes to me no sense. They have actually they don't have children voices. They occasionally.
Well, technically, she doesn't have a
Not
voice.
like children.
She doesn't
They
have a
do-
voice in this short.
Can I finish to answer for fuck's sake, dude?
Of course, you can finish an answer, but
Okay,
I just
so
wanted to say that she doesn't have
for
a voice
me,
in this
if I
video.
go,
doesn't,
if
no.
I come across to my content, I already know what's the lore, so it's easy. If another person comes to the content and thinks that, I mean, either they are not understanding what we are doing, either they don't understand anything related to us because they don't have children voices, they don't behave like children, and our
They do
audience are
behave like
perfectly-
children. Whoa, big
Wait,
pause
wait.
there, bud. We've already pointed this out. They
No,
do
pause,
behave like
stop
children.
interrupting me,
And then
pause.
all
They
you
do
said
behave
was,
like-
oh, he's childish.
And
Yeah,
our
okay.
audiences are
What about the
perfectly aware
masturbation?
that they are
Yeah.
adults and that
Horrible cope. Horrible cope.
can I fit? This is not an interview. This is just like blah 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 blah. Makes no
Yeah,
sense.
I mean, at this point,
Okay,
right? Because
sorry, go ahead,
you've just
go
been
ahead.
sitting
There is
here
no-
spewing
there is no
bullshit
point,
this
dude.
whole
You're a
fucking
guy
time.
that just goes on YouTube
All right, go ahead
saying
because we already have two more questions and we need to
Yeah,
get
I'll stop.
through all of
I'll
this.
Let me.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, thank you. Stop. And also, our audiences and fans are perfectly aware that they are adults, and that is the end. And
They're
that is the
not.
end of this discussion.
All right, so
you
what
know?
if somebody
Stop commenting
watches
on
for
that
the
video.
first
Stop
time?
commenting on that video.
If
Saying
somebody
they are
watches your
not,
videos
comment,
for the
man.
first
somebody
time,
behind your character just talking about some other people's shows that are being going for years. You cannot just decide on that. I mean, what the fuck, dude? Like
we're not
that's-
necessarily
general
deciding. We're
perception.
saying what it looks
General
like. Yeah, we're
perception.
saying what
It
it
doesn't
looks
matter.
like.
General
also-
perception matters more.
Yeah,
No, no,
general
no, no.
perception matters
I
a
don't,
lot
I
more
don't
than
care what
your
your
idea
followers
of
that
the
come on our
character.
videos. Sorry. There is another big difference to make. I don't care about what your fans come on our videos to comment of hate and of it looks
It's
like a
what
child.
your
It-
fans
No.
are
No,
commenting.
Shappy. One of the things we don't want you to. Oh goodness.
But dude, like
I-
what your public
People
thinks.
disagree, bro.
I don't care what your people think, dude. You guys make videos about this all the time. Of
It's
course,
what
they-
everyone thinks.
I don't
You're
care
the
what
only
your
one who
people
thinks
think.
that isn't a
My
child.
people think that child's an adult, and we're gonna jerk to it. Yeah, okay. You're disgusting, man. You
Okay,
disgust.
let's
you're
just
a
move on from
fucking
this point. Let's just
freaky
move on
ass
from the
motherfucker, bro.
Let's just
so-
move on to the next point. It's fine.
Yeah, we can just
Seriously,
move
We
on.
obviously
like-
aren't agreeing
Nah,
here.
just
We're
move on
obviously
because
not
we're not
agreeing.
gonna dis-
Yeah.
we're not gonna ever agree here.
It's not agreeing or
We
not.
will never agree here,
like-
Shappy. Just move on.
Let's put
Just
a
move
poll.
on.
Let's put a poll.
Just
No,
move
shut
on,
the
bro.
fuck. Dude. You're really rude.
Okay, so Shappy. Okay,
I am.
sorry.
I am.
Let's just
I
move on.
tend to get a
Yeah,
little
I'm-
mad when I'm talking to nunces.
That the idea that our content is about children or directed at children originated with you, not with us, and it was never an issue before. And plus, most of your followers, of course, they're gonna say, "Yeah, go on, keep bullying this guy," because of course, they are your followers.
I never
And this is
once,
not-
Shappy, I never once
And
made a
this
video
will be an
until I got.
interview.
Listen,
Video,
man, I
this
was the
will be
first
an
person to make a
interview.
video about you.
I
Dude,
don't care.
I did not
Let me-
make that video until I got 20 plus people sending me this, and their actual perception was,
Dude,
hey,
if
this
your
guy draws
fans
clear
and
kids
followers
in sexual ways.
send you
It doesn't
content
matter
to
that
make
they're my
bullying
fans. I had
videos,
people joining my
that's your
server just to
thing,
tell me
you
you were
know?
making child porn. I mean,
Listen
dude,
to me.
you are dead to rights. Everybody looks at your channel and sees these as kids. I don't
No,
know
just-
why you could possibly think any way
Everybody that's
different.
not a fan that doesn't know the lore doesn't care like you, or the fans that you have that send you the content from us, like, hey, roast this guy because we think this way. This is actually
It's
your
not just
thing.
our fans; it's yours as
So,
well.
Shappy, have you taken a minute to just step back and like understand
Fine, you know,
that
it's
if a lot
just-
of people are saying this, then maybe it is the majority. Maybe you are the issue here. Maybe
But
your
it's
team
not-
is the
it's not-
issue.
Maybe so.
I mean, a few thousand
Because
comments
if
coming from your channel.
if majority of people are thinking this, if the majority of the people who watch your content think, oh, that does look like a child, even if they're not, I'm gonna completely agree with you because it's your character. I can't say that that's a child, but
Obviously,
it definitely damn sure does look like a child, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
a bunch
And
of
Riff's
comments.
audience saying that right there, 88%.
I think that's
Already
what I'm
saying
saying. Your audience is what one thing. On the other hand, we never had comments like this before at this pace and quantity.
Yes, you did.
It's actually your fan base that is purposefully misunderstanding
This
the
is such
content.
a horrible cope.
I don't
Whenever
think
like
no, I
literally
just feel
so
like it's
many
really-
people see it as
There's
kids,
no
like, guys,
misunderstanding.
I swear,
Look at
before
the
you made the
character.
videos. Like, come on, dude.
But the votes are from your followers, guys. Not and if there is
Before we
something
ever
Okay,
even
but
talked
these-
about
these-
you,
These
put
votes
you
are
on the
from
map.
real people, and real people are voting that
Guys-
this is a child.
It
Guys,
doesn't.
they're not
gonna lie.
Exactly.
let's speak one at the time so I can answer to what you're saying, and it's better because otherwise I can't even hear what you say.
Okay,
I
Shappy,
was-
before we put you on the map, we looked at your comments and you were still getting comments about
Of course, there's
kids.
some people that disagree with the content, or they don't understand it, or they
Most
don't look
people.
into the lore, but they were
majority.
minimum
Majority.
comparison. No,
Majority.
no. How can you say it's a majority on channels that have hundreds of thousands of views and thousands of like and positive comments, and you find a few of them in between? This started with your fandoms
Never
Also,
said
the
a few.
comments.
coming to bully us because what you sell in the videos, which is not accurate, which is
It's
fine
quite
because that's the
accurate.
content you make.
I feel like I feel like I want to
We
clear up this
discussed-
point. We
we
don't
discussed
we
this-
don't wish to bully you at all. We
we
did
discussed this in
was just
Discord
speak
before
about
this
and criticize
conversation on the chat. This
your
is what you
content.
do. The people want to see a show, all that kind of stuff. You
They
said
sure
on
do.
the
Yeah, but we do
But
not
it
wish
doesn't
to
mean
bully
like
you.
pushing them
We're
into
just
your
here to
channel.
criticize.
and
Yeah.
at your followers are the
condone
ones that
hate.
are like we passed for maybe a 1% of comments of people that don't understand what we do because they don't look into it or because they misinterpreted it for our first
I've
glance.
already said this.
Okay,
if I have
so
to
you
do
think
genuine
most
research
people
and do
would
a
think that's
deep
an
dive
adult?
to even
Fuck
know your
you.
character's a adult, then clearly you are not doing enough to show the maturity of your character. You have still not made a single comment on this. If I have to do research to even think your character is an adult, you are not doing your part.
Guys, it's not about you making research or not about my characters. It's that if you're a fan before you existed, because I didn't know about your existence before, neither actually we had
So
tons
you're
of
saying
comments
this
coming
is
from-
a whole inside joke, basically. You have to be a fan to
It's
understand.
a whole
that
inside
that's
joke.
You
an
gotta
adult.
be
oh,
in the
yeah.
know
in
and do a
reality,
ton
this
of
is
research.
an adult.
So that
like
this
in
doesn't
everything,
look like
like in
child. Okay.
like in everything, if you keep saying that, dude, I already told you that's not okay because we don't do that. Like if you also
But yeah, let's
change,
ease up on that.
What are you gonna
word.
do?
Let's
What are you
ease
gonna
up on
do
those words.
if you keep
Let's
saying
ease
it's
up on
child
those words.
because it
I'm
is?
not gonna
What are you gonna do?
I'm not, like I said, I will take this interview as something peaceful, so I'm not gonna do anything
Okay,
about
we
that.
do not wish to. Yeah,
I
we do
know.
not.
Still,
Like, let's just not
I want to
because we still have
explain that
still have two more questions.
the fact
that's
is you don't have actually to do research. You just have to watch the content. I mean, if you consider that these characters are the age you consider, I mean, that's on you because they actually have lives and behaviors and voices and acts, and they say the age since 2023 because we are aware of
This
this.
is shorts, bro. People watching your shorts don't know all this. This is
Well,
the problem.
They'll
Most
just
of
scroll
your
into your
audience
videos and then
don't
that'll
know
be it.
this.
The thing is, we never
They
had
see
problems
first glance, they see what looks like a genuine child.
to them.
listen,
but
listen,
hundreds of thousands of people before
Dude,
that,
every-
never.
I'll calm down on
A few
this. Let me just get this point
a few
across.
comments in between thousands and thousands that were just understanding that this is adult humor, that is actually humor, sexual adult humor, to be more specific. And that's it, because that's what we created for the past 2 years. Now you appear, your fans can say what they want, your fans can comment
All right.
what they want and do the
Put
polls.
the same picture.
The
Put the
polls
same
will
picture on
take
your
your
community
side,
tab. See what they say. Let's see what your followers think.
Yeah, that's
know you
actually a
can do
good.
that.
That's actually
Yeah,
a good
let's put it on your
gauge.
community tab right now.
Put the same picture and say,
You
"Is
can
this a
just go-
child?"
You could just go on
Is it a
Instagram and
child?
check the comments yourself, dude. They know it's
have.
not a child because they are fans, and
A
they
lot of them
actually
do.
are there.
All right.
for
Well,
a
let's see
while.
if
No,
your
he's not
fans
gonna
back
do
you
that.
up. Let's see if your fans
You know
back
he's
you
not
up.
gonna do that, bro.
Hundreds of
Even if it's
thousands of
temporary. You know
people.
he's
He
not
would
doing
never.
that.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, he would never
So-
f***ing do it because he knows it's child.
I mean, you
Shappy,
keep saying
listen,
that.
Alright.
Shappy, listen,
Happy
man.
with that.
I'm gonna calm down. I'm gonna
Child
stop
porn,
the
child. You made
allegations.
f***ing child porn. That's what it is, bro.
Okay, all right. Listen, man. You're saying that the quote unquote research that has to be done is to watch your content, right? That's what you're saying. You just have to watch the content.
what I'm saying is that the characters do not look like children.
Let's not
do
make
act
this some
like
yap
children.
sesh, man. Do you have to watch
no
you have to watch
Yeah,
the
let's just-
content to
let's
find
keep
out
the
the
answer
age,
short.
right?
Come on,
So
guys.
the
Let's not
content
do like
that
we did with
I have
Pop.
watched the
Let's not
content,
talk about
and the
this. Yeah.
most.
For us, so let
You
me
wanna go
finish.
ahead?
Yes, I want to go ahead and I want to just say that the characters.
Please do, man.
Right, let's just keep the answers short though. I don't want to.
Yes,
we
they
already
are
have a
short.
lot to work
Of course,
with.
they are
Yeah.
longer and longer if this asshole doesn't stop to interrupt me. For fuck's sake,
Oh,
seriously, the characters do not look like children.
Speak, bro. F***ing hell, speak.
And you know that. You're just pretending not to understand that to make money.
What?
Out of your
No.
Bro,
They do look
you're
like
not
children,
pretending
bro.
shit.
They do look like children,
Wait,
bro.
wait,
They
wait.
do
And
look
yes,
like
you
children,
have
bro.
actually to watch content to have a valid opinion on it. Like, of course, if you don't research on it, you can have whatever superficial.
So yeah, I have to
shit
do the
opinion
deep dive on the
you want,
Okay, so
guys.
the most you can learn off of your content is a very flimsy idea of this character being 29. That is it. Almost every other video, he's acting either very childish or just very immature, which seems childish. That is it. So there's
a
one
very-
or two
it's
that
a
I've
very
seen
immature
personally where the
character. You made it
character's
on
like, I'm
purpose that way.
29. And it's, dude, that is such a flimsy shield. Again, bro, do you think this 400-year-old girl should be sexualized?
But that's
So
different.
canonical
That's
age is a fucking terrible
actually
argument, and you
kid.
know
That is
this.
The drawing of that character is a kid.
Okay,
That's
what about
why
the
we also don't
24-year-old?
use human figures. You know, we use dogs. We actually establish a lore
Yeah,
before
so
we
believe it
start
or not, bro, a dog can
the
still look like a
ages.
child.
Okay,
And
but
you're
this is the
making a
thing. This is the thing,
humanoid.
Shappy.
So you're saying that dogs look like children?
No, here's what we're saying, bro. You just said there's a law, right?
That's such a
no,
terrible,
wait.
dude. Come on, that's such a
You're
terrible
saying-
point.
You're
Oh,
saying
you're
that
saying
dogs
dogs
like
look like children? Come on, bro.
No,
You can
seriously,
make
I mean,
a
that's
dog
what
look
you-
like a child, and you
It's an
are very much
anthropomorphic
doing
dog.
that.
It's
Bro,
an
you're making your
anthropomorphic
dog
which
into
means
a
it has
human.
human
Bro,
features.
the dog is
It's
speaking
anthropomorphic.
I
English.
really
It's
thought you had me
anthropomorphic.
with that one. Wait, you think dog? No, come on, bro. Let's be
There's
fucking
nothing
You're
real.
humanizing the dog. Like, what?
And you're
Of course
making
we
a
are
literally
humanized
humanizing
dog
it.
look like a
making them
child.
dog and walk on
The
two legs.
humanized dog can be a child, yes.
So wait. Let me get this straight. You're saying that our characters that are actually adults for hundreds of thousands of people until you appeared, they are not adults because you say so or your fans say so. That of
No,
course
In
no,
some of the
General
videos,
perception,
they are
bro.
depicted as
General
in
kids.
some of the videos they are childish. Of course, we have a childish character and we have a more mature character that behaves a little bit.
bro.
It's your fans' general perception.
Okay,
not
so
my
Shappy-
fans'
Shappy, wait,
general
so Shappy,
perception.
you said you have
Yeah,
hundreds
we're
of
not gonna
thousands
point
of
at my
people, right?
fans. Oh,
So
my fans.
if
General perception.
you think it's because of us that we've ruined your perception of your channel,
I
don't
mean,
you
on
think
you- on
it'll be
YouTube,
more people that believe this if it's more like
I'm
first
not
of all,
saying.
Riff
I'm
and
not
Glider
saying.
Guy alone have easily over 1 million Sunday subscribers. Griff himself 4 million
Yeah.
subscribers. Glider Guy 400,000. Those two alone have a way bigger audience than you, and
That's
they
why
all
we are-
believe and agree. Like if they didn't agree, all you'd see in
Guys-
his comments is that
Hey,
okay,
so believe
Riff,
it or
this
not,
was an
Shappy,
outtake.
it's
Glider
an
Guy,
audience,
this was
not
not
a
a good
cult.
take.
Okay, so you can
Yeah.
you can
Your-
still
your audience-
disagree with
your
somebody that you're
audience-
You can
subscribed
disagree
to.
with the video.
Yes, they are
creator.
more likely to agree with me,
Always,
but
in all
they're
of
still
your
going to
videos.
disagree if I'm wrong. But if
But
the
it
general
doesn't
perception
matter.
of your character is that it's a kid, then they're going to
Yep.
take that general perception because it's the general perception. It's fine. We
I
can
mean,
just move on from this point because
Exactly.
we will never
Yeah.
agree on this.
We're not
In
gonna be
this
able to-
So
one,
I
we will
don't see a
definitely
reason to
not
keep
agree
arguing
with
it.
you.
I say
mean,
we
you
just
should-
agree to disagree.
I say we should actually understand the things properly, and that you
It's
of
pretty
course have
proper, man.
There's gonna be nothing
'Cause
being
it looks
tied
like we're just
between
going
us
in
like agreeing
circles.
with you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Of course, I
Like
know
you
that
know how to draw
you know
kids and
how-
adults. Like if you look at my character, this is a kid version of me, and that's an adult version.
For me, they look
It's
exactly.
very obvious. You know how to draw an adult. You know how to draw a kid.
We draw adults, and then we
Bros
draw
art
their
line.
parents that are older than
Okay,
them.
so you draw adults, and then you just draw adults that look exactly like children,
No, we don't. We don't draw. First of all, we don't.
and then you
draw
draw babies that look exactly like what?
No, if you look at the channel, there is one kid character which has his own sketches, which is the son of
Funny,
another character
actually.
that is also an adult.
Wait, so are you trying to say that
Okay,
that
even if-
video
even if
where
that-
where
are
the
you-
dad
alright, which
was
character is the actual kid? Which one are you referring to?
So we don't
The little
picture
baby
much-
bunny. The little
we-
baby bunny.
The little baby bunny. So the little
Uh,
baby bunny that was featured in the video where Crappy had sperm in his mouth. You think that's an appropriate video to feature a child, like an actual child, according
Yeah.
to your lore?
How I watch
did
You
it,
think that's
kids.
appropriate?
Yeah.
So
hilarious.
that's how Shappy washes the child, and then the joke is that Crappy's washing his mouth because
We
he.
I don't give a
the
fuck about the
joke.
joke. Do you
Like,
think it's
what?
appropriate to feature
but
a?
do you think it's
This is
okay
a
to
child
have a
according to
child
his
doing
lore.
anything. But it's
Yeah,
not
there's
the
a
child
child
doing
in that
anything,
video.
you know?
Of course not, but do you think it's okay for a child to be in the same video?
It's the whole joke. Actually, it's not even our joke, that one. We actually made it out of another video because we thought it was funny.
Point,
and I
point,
do find
point.
Where's the joke?
Point. I mean, your finger is sharp as fuck, my boy. Holy
Dude,
shit. You've
you're
done nothing but
point all
point.
the
Okay,
time
we're not
and
gonna
you
agree.
point,
We're not
point.
gonna agree. Let's
It's
just
okay,
move on.
bro.
Let's
Just move on. Just move on.
We just have to move on.
Bring
at
up the
this point
next
because
question,
we're-
bro.
Yeah, we're going in circles. All right.
Look, it's
Um,
actually
One
okay.
of the
Let's
things we wanted to bring to your attention.
We're
was that
bringing up
there
the
was
next
some-
shit.
Yeah, there was some leaks in your server. Some people are leaking information in there, and we found out that you're spending some time talking to Rocky Raccoon.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I?
So you guys do make the same type of content. Do you
a lot
think
of
he would
racism.
agree with these points as well? All these
I
points that
don't-
you're making.
Oh,
I
I
saw
guarantee he
his-
fucking would.
I saw he.
Oh, yeah.
You see, making assumption and pointing fingers yourself. So I don't know why the are you saying I'm pointing fingers. Can you not do that?
Oh.
No, seriously. Are you able to actually talk instead of just saying stuff that you make up or that you
that I
modify?
make up. Yeah, no, I'm actually pretty good at this, bro. It's kind of my whole.
Oh, yeah,
my
no,
whole
no,
I
job.
know
let's
you're
just
good
leave
at
it, let's
making
just
up
leave it,
stuff,
let's
and
just
it's your
leave it.
whole thing. We already talked about that on
Kinda my
Discord, guys.
job, bro, so.
I got that. That is your job, and that's what you do, and it's totally fine. I find it funny sometimes. Sometimes I don't because it's actually
Well, I would
offensive.
imagine you wouldn't find it funny because I'm calling you out.
Not
for being,
yours.
you
That's
know,
why I
kind
texted
of
you
a
because I
pedo,
think
but-
telling someone stuff like that without even knowing anything about it, or like you said to me, you haven't even researched because you don't need to. That's actually
No, so
not
the
okay.
thing is, I actually did
Shappy,
do
are
the
you
research, and
aware
I knew
of
that
the
you
recent
claimed your
controversy?
characters were 29.
Wait,
I
wait,
knew
one of
that,
the,
but it
what-
still
what-
is
what?
unimportant.
Of course,
No, I was
it's
just
not.
saying.
How is the background of 2 years of work of a studio of animation
Oh.
of a show that we want to make for characters that are adults, and we have specified from day one that they were when we took over? How is that unimportant on a commentary?
You got to look at this
Oh,
shit
'cause they
from
look
the
like
eye
kids.
lens of a kid
I
that
don't
just
care what
watched your video,
audience
bro.
think, dude. Like
Oh, 'cause they
what
look
your
like kids.
followers think and comment of hate on our videos happened to many other
Everybody.
people through the years. You've been doing this for years, and you can go through
Yeah,
the
we've
comments.
weeded out some pretty bad people.
They always agreed
Doing good
with you.
work out
Agree
here.
with you. Then there is some external people that don't, and that's it. But when it comes to your people that go to other channels to bully people or hate on people, of course they agree with you. Why would they agree with us? Where's the fun?
Right, because
then?
we've just
Or-
got cult-like
Agree with
fan
us,
bases.
bro,
No,
because
because
we make valid
sometimes
points.
we've been disagreed with. I've been disagreed with in my videos.
And
There's some
also-
videos out there where I have
We've all had some
more
outtakes.
dislikes than likes. Yeah.
Okay. Also, there is
Everyone
another
has a
important thing of it
bad
that is
opinion.
to make actually videos about hate and misinformation or criticism. The most important thing to do before is do research, not just
Of course
based
we
on what your
research.
follower says.
Yeah, we do.
No,
research.
you don't. Because here, Beto said that, no, of course I didn't look into it because it's not necessary, because the people that
Well,
comment on my
right.
videos,
Right, and I
that they
probably
look
shouldn't
for
have worded it like that, but honestly, I just kind of wanted you to just understand the point immediately. I did do the
There is
research.
nothing
I
to
did know that.
understand.
Okay, bro.
criticism about a channel.
Just let me
about-
talk. Come on,
Yeah.
bro.
Seriously,
you've
if
just been
you
doing
make
this the whole
criticism
fucking
about a
time, man.
channel, if you put comments outside of a person, and especially
Circles.
accusations like the ones you do,
Just
because
circles.
honestly, MK video, Ritz video, and Glider Guy video are actually, in a way, humorous, funny, and entertaining to watch,
Thank
even
you.
though the information is not
Thank you.
exactly perfectly
Lovely
accurate.
days.
Oh,
I
it
know
is.
I hurt your
Shappy.
feelings. I'm sorry.
But your
We
video,
appreciate the
it's not
glaze,
about
bro.
the feelings. It's not about the feelings. It's about going out,
getting pretty worked
making
up.
a video about criticism, like you call it, spreading hate, and then telling me that you didn't even look up into our content and you just think and
I
pretend.
did though.
that,
I did.
Hey, they
Yo,
look like
all of
they
us
look
did.
like
We've
all my
been your
fans,
biggest
they look
fans
like
recently.
this.
I was quite
why-
aware
We've all
that the
been
character
looking
was
into you for
supposed to
quite
be
a while.
29. I was quite aware of that. I just said that
Then-
it didn't matter because it doesn't.
Of course it does. The
This
background and
character's
the lore of
400. This
TV
character's
shows.
400, and she's got a lot of background and lore.
This is another topic totally different from Japan.
No,
that
it's
is
like
on
pretty
anime,
connected.
and that
Actually,
we
I'd
also
say
don't
with the
like
whole
because they
canonical
do
age argument, it's like
actual
quite
hits.
connected.
Wait,
It's
no,
like the
it's
biggest
just-
perpetrator of the canonical age argument. So it's like
Wait,
it's like
Yeah, let's
quite
just move on
connected,
from that
actually.
because we've been stuck on this point
Let's
for
close this
a
and
long
then
time.
we
We've
move
been in
on.
circles. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
just
But
close it off.
what you're mentioning about this character that is 400 years old is actually something from anime culture in Japan that also we don't like. That's why we don't use actual human kids
I mean, you're kinda
characters. We use
pulling
adult
over
dogs,
the-
you know?
You're
Bro,
kinda
you're
pulling over the
humanizing
adults.
dogs. It's the
That's all right.
same
Why is
thing.
that?
It is
No,
the
it's
same
not.
thing. I mean, you
How
can
do you
use the
say-
dog co-op all you want, but you're still humanizing them, and human dogs can very much be kids, and I still think making is
Exactly.
very much gross, and
In
that's
this
something you're
case-
doing. That is something
Look,
you're
bro,
doing.
you're never going to convince us on this
Actually.
point. It's
Right,
not
let's
going
just
to
move
work.
on. Let's just
I
move
don't
on.
need
It's
to
not happening.
convince you. I don't need to convince you. I just need to tell
Then
you what
don't.
it is.
We're moving on.
What
We're
it
Then
is.
don't.
Yeah,
Let's
okay, we
move on.
understand both sides.
And
We
what
understand
it
both
is,
sides.
is
Yeah.
we've been 2 years making this lore, and we started from the beginning considering this
Lore
stuff.
doesn't matter to a 6-year-old
Somebody's not
that
able to
just
get
scrolled
2
onto your
years of
shorts.
lore from
No,
watching one
neither
video.
in your channels, neither in mine. You understand that, and that's actually something that we restrict that not for kids like you do. If they get into the
Oh
channel
my
for
God,
whatever
bro.
ABC
Are we
reason-
really
point
circling
back
back
to
to
this
that
not for
point?
kids
You
thing.
have got to be the
Right,
most
no,
dense
let's leave it, let's
motherfucker
leave it,
I've
let's
ever
leave it.
I've
No,
ever
let's leave it,
talked
let's
to.
leave it, let's leave it, let's leave it, let's
Just
leave it.
let's move
Hey,
on. Let's just
guys.
move on.
And then you base all your points on your followers commenting hate
You
on
are
the videos.
dense
That's what we
as
do
hell,
for
my
years.
boy. So
Oh,
Right,
dense.
please, let's move
one of our
on.
last
Anytime
questions that we
Please,
had
let's
for you.
move
That's
on.
not a child.
This was literally one of our last questions that we had for you. Why, like, so obviously we know you're hanging out with Rocky Raccoon. Are you aware of the recent controversy he's been on? Do you know that he's been called a pedophile by basically the majority
Well,
of the
not
internet?
called. He is.
Yeah.
He
Are
does
you
draw
aware
child
of
porn.
the children that he drew that
Look,
were NSFW?
look, guys.
Well, there's nuance.
Rocket Raccoon
Let's
just
hear it.
joined our Discord a few days ago, and I check his videos, and I just see characters dancing all the time. It's his thing. I don't know. I don't know anything about the criticism about him or videos that you maybe made
Okay.
about him. I don't care about what you made about other
So
people.
if we
I checked.
dropped like actual
Well,
proof
we'd like
that
to
he
let you know.
did
Well, we would like to
kids,
let you know
would
that he
you
used
get
to
rid of him?
he used to draw children. Yeah, he used to draw children in a very perverse way, and he
This-
recently deleted those videos after the criticism came out about him.
This is not something I know because I didn't know even about his channel until recently that he
Okay, well,
joined
no
us.
worries.
Well,
That's
you're
what
associated
You haven't
that's
with
why
known
we're
him
here.
for long.
That's why
We
we're here.
have-
That's why we're here.
in
That's
the
why we're here. We want to
community-
inform you about him.
In the community of Discord, he actually seems to be a nice person, polite with everyone, and he's posting YouTube videos about his characters dancing, which it's his thing, and
Of
that's
course,
it.
yeah,
I
that's
don't,
his thing. Yes.
that's his thing. I don't know what he did previously, or if what you say is true or not true, or is also rumors, or if it's proven, or if he had problems with
It
it.
is proven in multiple.
It
different
is
YouTube
very
videos that are
proven.
still up. Yeah.
I don't know.
Very,
I don't
yeah.
know that.
He's a
don't
proven
know.
I'd advise you to look
right
into
now,
it.
right now, you have the chance to be ignorant and not look into it. Basically.
So
Yeah,
Now
we're
that- now
just
that we
giving you
brought it
the
to your
information.
attention,
If you
yeah.
want to stay ignorant about it, that's totally fine, but it would kind of look poorly considering you're really trying to jump away from the whole child porn thing. I just don't think being friends with somebody like that would
Yeah, I
be
think
very smart
associating
on your
yourself
end.
with Rocky wouldn't be a
Hey, this is
very
just a
good idea.
business move, dude. Okay, I'm not even bringing personal shit into this.
no,
okay?
I'm
It's
just
just
saying-
bad for business.
I'm just saying that he seems like a very nice person.
I'm sure he
When did
does.
you
It
meet
doesn't
him?
change what he did.
When did you
but-
meet him?
But it
I mean,
doesn't
we will
change. Yeah.
definitely
I'm
look
sure
into it.
EDP was a nice guy. I'm sure he'd be a great parent
Yeah,
to
I'm
share
like,
it
sure.
with. But like,
He
Like I
was
said,
pretty cool.
He's just joined our Discord. He seems really polite and super nice to everyone. I saw his videos of his characters dancing. That is his thing, and I'll look into it. But we met up to talk about our own project and what is actually happening there, not about Rocky Raccoon.
When did you
or-
meet him?
of course, yeah. If you
I'm
want
not.
to affiliate
few
yourself
da-
with him, then that's
Maybe
your
a few
own.
days ago when he joined the chat because he saw your
You've
videos.
you've known him for less than a week. Okay.
I don't. I mean, I thought we were actually meeting to talk about our channel and how we do things.
No,
and
we
how
are. We're just bringing up
And
the point.
This is
because
just
you're
this is
friends
just a
with
point.
known
Yeah.
pal,
Just part of it.
or so we thought. But now we
get that
know,
this
so
is
we
not
can move
something-
on. Like,
Yes, this is
why are you
not
getting
something
pressed
that
about the point?
is
Yeah,
related. No, I'm just
no,
telling you
it
that
is
this is not
related, bro.
It
This
is
guy's a
very-
known pedophile. We need to know if you're
our
friends with him.
channel,
Yeah,
guys.
he is quite known to be a.
He is
literal
featuring you in a
person
thumbnail
that
on his
draws
YouTube
children.
channel, so you guys technically have collabed a little bit.
But
That's true.
that's something maybe he did because he wanted to add our character like he does with others in his channel. We didn't know that. We just saw the video. Plus, I don't know if these allegations are true or not. I told you, I just met this guy a few days ago. He seems really nice. He makes puppets dancing, and that's actually kind of cute. And I don't know about the rest because it's not something that I looked into it. And
No, that's fine.
also,
You don't have to
So,
do research on
that's
every
fine,
person
yeah.
that joins. We're just letting you know. So
We're just
now,
making
if
you
you don't
aware.
do
We're
that
letting you know.
research, that's on you.
I know, but I don't know his work. Neither the guy personally. Like we talked for a few days, like the last days, because he joined our Discord community, and so I can literally say nothing here. Like I
Of
will
course,
need
yeah.
to
No,
look
we're not
into it.
expecting you to say anything. No. We just want to
You
let
don't
you
have
know.
to make a
Yeah.
comment. We're just letting you know, bro.
No, I mean,
This was just
some
something for us to bring to your attention.
I mean, a
Yeah,
thank you
yeah,
would be awesome, honestly.
you.
but It's all right.
yeah,
Yeah, appreciate it.
maybe if you wait.
No worries.
Thank you. We will look
Okay.
into it. But like I said, it's actually I don't know. I mean, he seems like a nice person. He's in our
All right,
Discord.
well, you'll see
always
how
do,
good of a
bro.
person he is. I have a video later that you can actually watch where I go over everything. So
I'll check
Today,
it out.
It's posting
actually.
today, right? Yeah.
yeah, it is posting
We'll
today
go
at
ahead
4
and send
p.m.
it
I
to
want you to watch that video.
We'll send it to you.
I will check it out. Like I said, I don't know this guy personally. I just have him in the
Okay.
Right.
Discord.
We just
We'll let
think
you
it
know,
would be a
man.
wise decision for you to like not be around that person if you do
Yeah,
care
bad
about
guy.
your image.
Very bad
Yeah.
guy.
But I will check. I will look into it and see what I can find also about that. Thank you for the info. But like, I will
Anyway, do you guys reckon that's it?
Sorry.
I'm just asking.
Do we
others,
have any
do they
more
reckon that's,
questions
that-
planned
Do we have
out?
any
'Cause
more?
Nah,
think
I don't
I've
have any
voiced
other
my shit
questions
pretty
for this
well.
Because I'm pretty sure we can just agree that Shappy really has just proven that he's pretty creepy. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
that's
this
the
call
point
hasn't
of
really
view.
gone anywhere except for the way I thought it would go. So, yay.
Yeah.
That's definitely your point of view, which is actually
Right,
something
yeah, it's
that
up for
you-
interpretation, huh? Well, we'll see how they
I
interpret
mean, I'm not
it.
gonna lie.
Yeah.
I did expect
In your
better
case-
from the whole
in your
child
case,
point
it's
of view.
interpretation. And
I expected a lot better,
like you
but-
said on the Discord, which part of it unfortunately didn't happen, that we will have a talk. You're actually just harassing, and definitely,
Harassed? Okay.
definitely,
Who's harassing
definitely
who?
you're
I mean,
accomplishing-
I don't know. I feel like we
Oh.
genuinely did.
I feel
have
like
a
the
good
40 plus
conversation.
comments on mine and
I'm not
Rick's
talking
channels
about
would
all
probably
of
be a
you.
little bit more harassment, but that's
Yeah,
fine.
I think that the legal document that you sent to
I feel
somebody
like
for
the
voicing their
false
opinion
copyright
is kind
strike.
of harassment. But hey, man, whatever.
We went through
Listen,
that-
we
we
can
went-
have our
Neither
own
the hundreds of
definitions of
comments
shit all
either.
you want. I mean, clearly you
Guys,
have
we went
your
through the-
Let's
definition
not
of what
forget
a
the
child
false
is. You
allegations
have
on the
your
community
definition
tab
of all
post
this
against
shit.
Frith.
It's whatever. It's not a big deal. At the end of the day,
And
we're never going to
anyways,
agree on this, and I think you're disgusting.
part-
I think
the
you're
part that
gross.
this-
I think you are a gross
the
person.
part- Yeah,
I really
we prob-
expected bad
we
Shappy. I'm
probably
not gonna lie.
think this about each other, you and I, but it doesn't matter.
No,
the
it's okay.
thing is
we
that-
don't have to like each other. I'd
Right.
actually
We
rather
don't
you don't like me.
Exactly. It's fine. I mean, I can live with it. The thing is that definitely the part of the Discord that you said we need to make a show because that's what the people want to see. We made a
didn't
show
say
for sure. This conversation. So
I
I think
said
the
that.
yeah,
That
you
was
said
Riff,
that.
yeah.
This is definitely a show.
Yeah,
but I am
I
leaving
think
this
with the
thinking that
argument
you
or
are a
not, I
pedophile.
think
That's
with the
what I am
argument or
thinking.
not, it's
When
still
I
would've
leave
been a
this
show.
call, I think that Chappie's a pedophile. That's what I'm leaving this whole call being.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
going to be
really
my
I'm not
opinion.
leaving.
I'm
with a
just leaving the
different
call
mindset, if I'm
disappointed.
being
I really expected bad. Like I didn't expect you to think it'd be okay to have someone like Monster Girl drawn NSFW up.
Yeah,
just
you've
because no one
shown your
thinks it's
colors
okay.
quite well, man.
I think whatever adult cartoon character has the right to be drawn for plus 18 people the way their artist wants. I mean, what the fuck?
Kind
Yeah,
think
of course.
that's
That's a
disgusting.
fair opinion for
Okay.
you. I mean, that's what the artist
Yeah,
wants. That's
depicting
cool. You're
his
not wrong,
children,
but
bro.
I just think that's
As
really.
long as it's,
I
as long as
personally
it's
think it's
posted in
disgusting.
Patreon and plus 18 or in only some pages where it's plus 18 and not in
I'll be
social
honest,
media.
I don't care
So
where
you
it's
don't think
posted.
there
That's
should be
disgusting.
any nuance there? You don't think there should be any nuance of this character looks like a kid even though they're called for like 24?
Even though that,
You don't think
even
there
though the
should be
law
any
in the
nuance?
law it says they're 24, so it's okay.
I think if the character is 24, it's okay, guys. What are you talking about? I
It's
don't think-
okay to
any
draw them as a
nuance.
I don't think
child.
it's okay, for example, on the
Even
part
though
of
they
the-
look like a child. Even though they look like a child and they're 24 years old.
Looks,
Shappy, I don't
talks,
actually
acts
think
like a
you-
child, but it's 24.
I really
I don't know if
think
this
you've
is a
actually
rage bait
answered
for
a
the
single
video. I don't
question
know
that
what
I've
this
asked.
is, but
This
whatever it
kind
is,
of wild.
like I
So-
don't know what this is, if it's a joke or whatever. Bro.
Yeah.
Not a joke.
Listen,
not a joke.
listen for a second. My question was, do you think there is zero nuance? If the character is an adult, they're an adult. Is that what you think? Even
No,
if they look like a
like,
child.
You can't use big words like nuance, bro.
Either
He's
you
not
don't-
gonna
either you
understand.
don't- either-
That's true.
I don't think you maybe listened to me clearly. Like I said, our characters are our style. They don't look like children. They
I
don't
haven't
act like
asked
children.
you about your. That's kind
Mate.
of funny because I didn't ask
I
you
know
about your
you haven't,
character.
but I'm
I
going
said,
Because you
is there
say it doesn't look like a
nuance?
child
Is
doesn't
there
mean it doesn't look
nuance?
like a
If
child.
if an adult character looks like a child, should you draw them pornographically? Yes or no?
No,
This is the easiest question I've ever
If
heard.
a character looks like a child, you shouldn't. If it's a child, like the anime, you just show the second picture. I don't even know what the this is, but this literally looks like a child.
If they look like they're below 18,
Yeah, well,
'Cause I don't know
that
what
little
you're classifying
dog you
as a
have
child
under the
right now.
table literally
That
looks
does
like a
not-
child.
exactly.
To you, maybe.
Literally.
To your
The
The dog
fans.
looks 10.
Because we haven't had this
Everybody
perception.
thinks
You
it
know?
looks like a
Man,
kid.
Get the out of here. No, actually leave. Nah, I don't want to do this
I
anymore.
don't-
I
I
think
have
we
no
can just
words.
hang
Yeah,
it
I have
up.
no
I
words.
don't want to continue this call.
We're not getting
angry.
anywhere. We had a call. We understand your point of view. We've
I think I'd
confirmed that you
rather,
really
like, build
are.
a fucking house.
who
If
we
you're
We
thought
wouldn't
not-
you
have this
were.
conversation. There'd be less.
I mean, you
growing.
can think whatever you want. That's free
All of
will
us are leaving thinking you're a pet.
All of us.
That's okay.
yeah.
It's good because I'm recording this.
That's
too, and
okay.
Actually,
That's
really
okay.
Situations. So okay, fine. If you want to think that and say that, fine. We are actually not. You should actually check the show from the beginning of it. You don't want to do that because that doesn't pay your bills, and that's totally fine.
Dude,
And-
I
I don't think
I
no,
know
but
what the
the thing
ages
is,
of your
God.
characters are. If it looks
said
talks and
Shappy,
acts like a
Shappy.
child, then it's a
All right,
child.
Shappy,
I don't
so
give
you
a
think
fuck what
that
your lore is.
you think every one of your fans
This
has
is
seen your
YouTube
first video and
Shorts.
understands? Because I can tell you for a fact, your
Mhm.
first video that explains all the lore and everything, that is not your most viewed video. And people will not know. Some people will just find your video scrolling and then bam. That's the first thing they see. Oh, that
That's
looks
the
like a
point.
child.
It's
So they're gonna think it's
YouTube
a child.
Shorts.
That's the way people work. The way people work.
Their
Human
fault,
beings,
though.
we
That's actually
program
their fault, though.
we
Yeah.
program
Point.
we program
Point,
age,
Shappy, please
race,
point.
gender. These are the
They can
three
think-
things we think about. And that's human psychology. I
Okay,
took
okay.
I took a
Finish,
class in
Shappy.
human
Go
psychology.
ahead and point.
When
Let's hear it.
humans look at other humans, the first things they register: age, race, gender. That is the
Sharp
first
ass
three
finger.
things.
Life. Guys, let's point that a person is scrolling down and watching videos and pops up on one of our videos, okay? And they misinterpret like Beto, for example,
their
like whatever of you, and say, oh, hey, guys, this looks like children. Let's just say it does, even though without looking into it, because we
You
think
don't
so.
have to look into something.
Of course you do. What are
Okay,
you
well, so
talking
when you see
about?
Hasbullah, when you see Hasbullah, do you think that's a child?
Excuse me?
When you see Hasbullah, okay, I'll put this in the gifts. Wait,
Who is Hasbullah?
don't worry.
You'll see.
You
You'll
don't
see.
know who Hasbullah is? Okay.
It's
Okay, so is this
Only
a
the
child?
Greatest person on the planet.
I don't know who Hasbullah is, but
This
anyways,
person
Look
in
at the
the
gift.
chat, does that look like a child to you?
I think I saw memes about this guy, but that guy is not a child. I know that's a
Exactly.
fact.
Yes, he's not a child. Yes,
It's not.
but he does look like a
But
child.
on first glance,
But how is that
That's what we're
Doesn't
saying.
look like a child.
If you looked at him for the first time, no, this is how it makes sense, right? This ties in because you're saying that first glance doesn't matter. That wouldn't have your opinion on anything. You'd have to look into it.
No,
But
what I'm saying,
A lot of people on first glance when they look at Hasbullah, they'll think, oh, that's a child. They look into it if they're interested and find out,
Guys-
okay, yeah, he's a grown adult. But
Let's-
not many people are
that's
gonna
not
look
what I'm
into it.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that until you appeared, our fans, our adult fans on Instagram, because that's where we were posting most of the stuff and where we had the fandom. We have
That's
maybe
probably what
one
you
or
should
two
stick to.
of people
So that means you
didn't
must
like
have cultivated a really weird audience if they have no issue with that. I'm sorry, but that means you're harboring
thing
multiple
is,
people
from our
like yourself that
perspective-
think it's okay.
From
I just
our
checked your Instagram comments.
Just say
Everyone's
it,
saying the
MK.
same.
Let it rip.
They don't
Our-
agree.
Just said
Let
it.
it rip.
From our
Bro,
Bro,
perspective,
I can't lie. I'm actually so disappointed, Shappy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm
Seriously,
really
dude.
disappointed.
You have done
You're-
nothing
I was-
but disgust me this whole
I'll
call.
be honest. In my first video about you, I defended you. I said, "Oh, give him the benefit of the doubt." I blamed the parents. I'm the one who said, "Okay,
There
Shappy,
is no-
he's
there is
doing his
nothing
best to
to
try and
defend.
keep the people away from his channel or whatever." I'll be honest. After this call, I've had a complete 180, man.
Yeah,
I
complete.
genuinely
Nah, for
feel
real.
like what you've
Any
done.
kind of
Complete
idea that I
fucking-
had, like, oh, maybe he's a cool person, completely
Like, I
gone.
tried to give
Especially
you
when
benefit
you
of the doubt.
threatened
I'm a-
me. Like, that was awesome.
I'm a very empathetic person.
Try to
Despite
ruin
me
my
being
fucking income.
Like, bro.
Yeah, dude, I mean, that's not right. And also, I talked to your cousin MK before to have this interview, and
Yeah, he
what
told
he
me.
said about it is that you hated me from the beginning, and that I should have the interview to try to talk to you about my
You
background.
have a
Tell him or
screenshot of
what?
that because I believe it's completely untrue that I
No, he
even.
said that all of you actually, of course, don't like our content. That's not a secret. And at the same
We
time,
don't hate you. We definitely do not hate you. I mean, I don't know about Beto.
you
Maybe he
hate the
does.
content.
Oh,
you
I do.
misinterpret a lot.
I
you
think
know?
what you
I'm a
make.
Beto
I think what you
bandwagon.
make is really I think what you make
That's
is
okay. I mean, you
very
guys
bad.
are
But I
cool.
don't hate you as a
do, in
person.
fact,
I'm
hate
sure.
Shappy, yeah.
More
I'm sure
things-
you're a good
more
person.
things.
Maybe.
I am a
mean-
good person. Two more things. And our characters do not actually look, like I said, in our style, in our opinion, in our fans' opinion, until the other day. Like, a part of a few people that, of course, didn't like the humor because it was too pushed and so on. We didn't have this problem before. And I think that even you do not believe that our characters look like children. You literally just say that to bring viewers to your channel, which I don't
do
get
believe
it.
that,
Yes, we
actually,
do. Why
100
would we
million
lie
fucking
about that?
percent.
Because
That
you
those look
misinterpret
like
and
kids.
change things and lie all the time in your videos to get views. and
Misinterpret.
you make
I
up
want you to
If
look
you
at those
could please
screenshots we
look
just
at
Bro,
sent
we
you
don't
of
have
the
to
kid under
lie
the table
to make
and
people
tell me
believe
with a
that that looks
straight
like a
face
kid.
that does not look like a kid.
For us, this is
Seriously,
our
you
style-
cannot
this is
tell
our
me.
style, which is chibi style. I think I explained it before. I don't know it in interrogation or whatever you
I'm
want to
sorry.
call
I'm
it.
still hung up
Yeah,
on the
we
statement
lie
that
all the time.
that
Shappy,
guy
go
said.
ahead and look at any other
about
video. No, listen. Look at
me
any other
hating
video
you.
that doesn't include you. If you can point out a blatant lie that I've done, I might give you my bank account, bro. I
Things-
don't lie ever.
Do you even know the meaning of what a pedophile is? Like a pedophile is a person that actually
Yeah.
wants to have sex with kids, and abuses kids. We don't do that.
No,
Yeah.
if you're attracted to children, you're a pet.
But we are not. I mean, what the are you talking about, dude? Like it's like saying. Let me summarize this whole thing in one sentence, which is your characters for us don't look like adults, neither for our fans. So therefore, you are attracted to children. I mean, are you fucking dumb or something? What are you talking about?
I mean, animating a child, it takes more than just 2 seconds. You have to think about that for many, many hours. And I mean, if it even crosses your mind that you're, thinking about drawing a character that looks like a child sucking,
that's what
you have to think about that for an extended amount of time.
I'm just letting
but
you
that's
talk
what
because you're
you
making
think
you're
about
digging
that.
such a hole
You're
right
just
now.
You're
It's
making
actually
yourself look
kind of
worse
funny.
right now. It's
Don't point it
it's
that
I don't
way.
understand.
But there's nothing to understand. There's very simple things to understand. You go to 2023 when this started. You actually see the lore. It's our style.
What 6-year-old is going to be inclined to do that?
No
What child is going to be
6-year-old
inclined
knows
to
the
look
law.
into that?
What?
No 6-year-old scrolling through their shorts feed because,
excuses.
setting your
What the
videos,
fuck
as we know, as not made for kids doesn't help.
Parent supervision on an app that you need to be 14 to have an account.
Yeah, okay. We understand.
still
We
there are
understand.
still
It's not your
Children that
fault.
can see your
That's
content.
not your fault.
That's what we're saying.
That's
It's
not your
still
fault,
the
Shappy.
same
But it's your
point.
responsibility to make sure that that doesn't happen.
No, it's our responsibility to restrict our channel not for kids, and that's it. And to not show visual stuff, because if we do anyways, YouTube automatically will restrict it plus
Of course
18.
you do, but that doesn't make the chance of people seeing your content that are under the age of
Yeah,
13 zero.
neither-
It doesn't make the
neither
your
does
pushing
the
does
channel
not make the
kids.
chance
You're
zero.
pushing porn
My
to kids,
video
dude.
to your
You're
channel,
pushing porn
You
to
can
kids.
say that you've taken the steps, even in the situation where you say, okay, yeah, you've taken the steps, cool. Let's just entertain this idea that you've taken the steps, you've done what you can. With what you've done, children can still see your content, whether you want them to or not. Yeah, of course. But the difference is
the handicap of YouTube.
the difference is what we're doing isn't something that can harm children. When we react to your videos,
Can harm children. What are you talking about?
when we react to videos, we react to videos online. We talk about the bad things that could be removed from the platform.
Let's point something out about your content too. At this moment, you are showing our videos. You are showing our videos in your channel.
That you deem to be 13.
Yes, that we make and so on, and we created. You're showing them on your channel for the purposes of criticism and so on. Like we already talked about, exposing those videos also to possible children that are lying about their age. Plus, teaching kids about hating people, about not looking into the information of a channel, about going and bullying other people.
Because Shappy, shut the fuck up.
Here we go. The misinformation point again. The misinformation point again. We shared your videos in a negative light.
You guys are not making
kids bully us. You're making kids, but Shappy, please go cry.
You feel
I don't
bullied?
Be in this call
do you
anymore.
genuinely
I
feel
don't-
cyberbullied,
No, I don't
Shappy?
wanna
Do you
be-
actually feel Shappy?
How is us criticizing your
Do you feel
shocking
cyberbullied?
content at all us teaching people to bully you? Like what?
How on earth is that?
How are we
cyberbullying?
teaching people to bully people?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
mean-
it makes no
I mean,
sense.
when
We
I
don't
first-
condone bullying. We all our
Criticism
videos,
is not
we say we do
bullying.
not
No one's
console-
bullying you.
We
Guys,
don't console.
You guys
hate. We
don't
do not
agree with
condone
me,
that
you
shit.
bullies? Like, come on.
No. Like when
We
you
have
are
a different
actually-
opinion, and other
That's
people think the
okay,
same.
but we have the same opinion about kids lying about their age and seeing content that they shouldn't, correct? Which is they are seeing my videos in my channel sometimes, probably because they lie about their age. You have way more
Constantly.
followers. Yeah, also in yours, and you have way more followers, and that's not your fault. Neither is my fault. Actually, YouTube
It is your
should
fault, actually.
restrict videos with ID. No, it's actually not. And on the other side, you're actually spreading hatred. You don't look.
We are not spreading hatred because
It's
in our
actually
videos we
against
quite
the
literally say
fucking
not
criticizing
hate.
you.
people to your channel to
Information-
incite
wait.
hatred. We don't do that.
Guys, when you
No
take
one has ever
information-
said to go to your videos and send
Nobody
hate. We
says,
never
"Oh
do
yeah,
that.
Told
everybody in
anybody
the
to go to
comment
your
sections
channel.
go to
Look at the
Shappy's
comments.
channel and absolutely hate on the guy." Nobody says that.
Look at the
Yeah, guys,
comments.
don't
that
go to Shappy's channel.
Okay, yeah,
and
that's
hate on
cool.
him.
That's not our fault. We took the steps,
Exactly.
unlike you. We
Exactly.
took the
That's what I'm-
steps.
We
to
don't
say,
bear
okay, yeah, cool.
responsibility for our
We don't
fans
bear
going to your
yeah.
You
channel.
are teaching people.
Anybody that does something like that, I wouldn't
And
claim
they-
as a fan. And I'm
you are
sure that others
teaching
can. I'm sure
people-
that others can say the same.
and
We don't endorse that. We don't endorse people going to other people's channels we talk about and
That's
going
what
in their
you love.
comments
We
He
would
is
receive
talking
community
bad about him.
guideline strikes if we did incite people to go to your channel and incite hatred.
Yeah, that's
It is, like,
that's against
very
the
That's why
rules.
you
You
work
can't do
against
that.
YouTube TOS.
So, like I
Very
said,
against.
the copyright strike and so on, where I talk about it. To conclude this, not interviewers. It was not kind of an interview at all. That's not what I had in mind.
Okay, let's
at
grow
all.
up now. Let's not even call it not interview. Let's just say continue this conversation. Come on.
Yes. So I just wanted to say that when people actually see your content and our videos in your channel that are also apparently restricted, not for kids and so on, they consume the content anyways. At the end of the day, it's what it is until YouTube doesn't install something with ID that they can actually prove that the person is not lying about their age. And finally, also, the fact that you say, oh, I didn't look into the channel because it wasn't necessary, because my fans think so, because the people that watch my videos think so, because they are commenting.
I was going
on
off
your
a general perception, but I
Yeah,
did
you
know
know,
that you
the
were trying to
reason for
cope and
that
call
is
that
that
character
it doesn't-
29. I did know that.
But
I
it-
did.
The
know
reason
that.
for that is that it's important to talk
All of
about
us
it
are
from a
completely
first
aware.
man's perspective.
into that, you know, like a criticism video can be in many different ways. One of who is the one you make actually, which is in most of the videos that we've seen about your content, people just go to the channels of these people and throw a ton of hate, which is fine if you're
That's not
fine with
our
it.
fault.
Well,
We're
of
not
course
fine
it's
with
not.
it.
Neither is my
We-
fault
yeah.
that people lie about their age in YouTube. Neither is yours.
Yeah, but we took the steps to actually make sure that
Exactly.
the people
yeah.
sending
we
hate
do actively take
are
the
people that we
steps
do
to-
not
to
condone.
stop
We do not
that.
call them
You
fans.
do not
We
take
say
the
don't
steps
do
to
it.
keep away children,
Not for
and we
kids, and
know
you're
this. We
posting-
just went over this. Shappy, we're not going to keep going. in
You
circles,
only
dude.
just
Wrap
stopped.
it
You
up.
only just took the
wrap it
steps
up,
and
man.
took the
Just
channel
wrap it
out.
up.
You only just took the links out, which is what we like. We said, yeah, okay, that's
Done.
good.
Hey,
If
good
you're
job,
happy
man.
with
You know what? Hey,
good.
I am proud of you for that.
We're not
Honestly,
gonna
that's one of the
ban
only
you.
things I can. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can.
you are, aren't
say,
you?
yeah, well done.
Why don't we all restrict our channels plus 18? I mean, it makes no sense, you know, like it's 13 plus. Teenagers consume our
Makes quite a
content,
bit of
yours
sense.
and ours.
You push him to porn.
It's like we
Hopefully,
said, just keep
Twitter's
the
porn.
13 plus stuff with the 13 plus stuff. Everything needs to
Done.
stay away
Done.
from the
All the
grown.
rest of
Let the
this-
grown,
Yeah.
the grown audience shit.
That-
Let the
that's-
children watch the children shit. It's
That's
literally
done.
exactly
Like,
how
the
Ray
links,
said.
the links are out of
Yeah.
YouTube. Are you happy with that? Great. We have an
Yeah.
agreement on that. But
Yes.
don't go around calling people p. I don't even know who I am, for fuck's sake. Like
I
neither.
mean, I never
neither-
called you
No,
that.
but I do
never
know
called you
that.
that.
Dude,
I don't know
You
who
have to.
EDP 445
You
is, but I know what he
put
did.
child porn on
did
YouTube.
and Riz did, and it doesn't make any sense towards my persona because I'm not, first of all. Secondly, I've been actually working in arts and in fashion for so many years. You know nothing about my background, and you just go on it, you know, over and over again because that's what interests people, like calling people p out of the blue. I mean, what the fuck, dude? That's
Out of
really
the
not
blue.
Dude, this
probably
is
the
not
most wild
baseless
thing I've
shit.
ever heard.
Out of the blue.
Out of the blue.
Yeah,
we
it's
don't
hard
just
to, it's hard to
basically-
defend
That
you,
actually makes
Shappy.
me-
As if
when
we
you've
have
drawn something
nothing
that
to
looks
back
like
that
a
up.
child
Yeah,
underneath a
nothing.
table, a dead child, by the way, something that
That's
looks
your
like a dead
perception.
child. Yeah,
That's
that's
your
how that's
perception,
most.
but it's
Yeah, that's the
not a dead
majority
child.
perception.
That is
Actually,
the
an adult.
general perception. We're gonna
I
keep
can-
going.
I
I
can
say
bet-
it's an
I can
adult,
bet-
so it's an adult.
I can
Like,
bet
the
my
new
life and
what are we
everybody
doing
else's
here?
in this call. If you
And
was to
yours.
put that character on a huge screen worldwide, majority of the people would say that
But
that is a child.
that-
I'm sorry,
that's
but that's
not-
just the point.
You should go to
That's how it
Instagram and
is.
check
But I
it
don't
out.
care about their opinion. I'm headstrong. That's an adult. Yeah, you're just fucking creepy, dude.
No, no, no.
You're
There's
just
it's not.
creepy.
It's not about. It's not
If
about.
you don't
saying
believe that, then
adult.
that's your problem. That's the
No, but
truth, though.
There is no. That's
I'm
not the
100% sure. The majority people would think, "Yep, that's a child."
From your channels, definitely. From your fans, definitely.
Not
Whether
from my
they
channels,
gonna say.
from your fans.
Dude,
I
we
can go
invite you to
outside
post it
and
on
show
your
a
community
random
tab and
person
ask
right
your
now.
audience if that's
I'm
a
gonna-
child.
I could fully
You-
after this call is done, I'm gonna go outside to 5 random people and ask them, "Yo, is this a child? Does this look like a child?" Would that make you happy? No fans, completely third party impartials.
I hope they actually understand our humor and how it is. And if they don't, well, good for you. I
It's
don't
gonna
know.
be
Okay,
upon
we
it's
will
gonna
do
be
it.
upon
We will do
first
it.
glance. It will be
That's
upon
their
first
fault, right?
glance.
Anyways, do you have any other question, guys? Because this has not been an interview at all. Like this is just people just accusing.
I don't
people
care
of-
what it's been.
They're
I don't
not-
care what it's
This
been.
never was
It's been a
fucking interview.
conversation.
This is a
Whatever it
conversation.
is. Yeah.
Well,
We
it's
just wanted to
also-
understand
You're
Discord
just
your
talking
point
call,
of
buddy.
view.
about right now, Shappy. I mean, you've been.
We wanted to
I-
understand your point. This is a confrontation. Let's be honest. This was
I
more of
think
a
it's not
confrontation.
productive-
We
this
wanted
is
to
not-
understand your point of view. You wanted to understand ours. We got our points across clearly.
I'm
That's
just
it.
telling-
We understand where we both stand. No one's changing. Like I think
Yeah.
we've kind of got everything we need to get across.
We wanted closure and
So yeah,
some
we have
sort of
we've gone
confirmation.
over everything. Definitely not a productive conversation, if you want to call it a conversation. I
I'd
feel
say it
it's
actually was.
At least we got
understand
you to
your
take the
point of-
p- out
It
of
was.
your
I
13
think-
plus
I
YouTube
think
channel.
we
I think
now
that's pretty
know-
f***ing productive. If
Yeah,
you
that
ask
is
me.
we
very
now know
productive,
exactly where
yeah.
you stand. You know where we stand. I think that's pretty productive.
That is very productive.
No,
you
I
just
think
feel
that
like
we
because
got-
it didn't go your way, now you find it
We
not
got
productive.
something done here.
Yeah, you look like a fucking like an absolute creep. So you're like, well, guys, I don't think it was that productive. Okay, that's
for us,
kinda on you,
definitely
but
not,
all right.
which is what I thought, unfortunately. And it's just harassment.
That's fair. You can have that opinion. I would not call it harassment because you had the
could have
chance
left
to
the call
leave.
at any time.
You could have left
None
whenever
of
you
this
wanted.
is harassment.
Exactly.
I mean,
Bro,
I-
you're
I
doing
wouldn't
this
say
to
this is
yourself.
harassment.
This isn't harassment.
You can choose to leave whenever you'd like. So
Yeah,
you can't claim
really-
this as
really
harassment. You're not
can.
locked
We wouldn't
in
have
here.
forced you in.
Okay, guys.
Honestly, I didn't even
okay.
want to fucking do this.
Let's agree and disagree. It seems like you did, but yeah,
It
let's
seems
agree.
like we do agree to disagree.
No,
And that's-
honestly,
Yeah, but yeah, I'm glad you like the views that
we.
we gave you.
Well,
I'm
we'll
glad
just
you like
we'll
all the
just
views we gave
keep
you.
on doing our content the way it is, and you
Just
can
know
just
that 30 million people have seen a child on their screen sucking
it's a
whoever
child.
that was
It's a
off.
child because you say so.
No, it's
because
fine because you know the creator says it's
looks
not a
like
child.
a
You know,
anyway,
and
so
that's
it's not a
fine if
child.
that's fine. If you're the only one that doesn't think you're a p and 12 million plus other people think you are, then hey, that's okay. That's
If
okay.
You can live in your little
Because it's
bubble.
only
You can
your
live in your
opinion
little
that
bubble.
matters.
It's fine.
It's
As
only
long
your
as your
opinion that
inside
matters.
joke is still funny to your fans, then that's cool, bro.
12 million and one.
Keep your inside joke, bro.
Okay.
All right, yeah,
let's
12
just
million and
keep- let's
one,
just-
you're
Let's
right.
just keep it like it's only your fans that think so because we didn't have this problem before and close
Bro,
it
it
here.
is not just
Well,
our fans.
Honest, of course it is, but it doesn't.
Our fans
matter.
are regular
It is not
people.
only fans.
Like,
Let's just agree to disagree. Okay, this was
Yeah,
definitely
guys, everyone
for
knows
you.
our fans
You
are
can
cult
pay
like
it
fan
back
bases, and they're all
the end of
haters.
the
They're
month.
disgusting little haters.
Let's
Yeah,
hope we
well,
can
if
do
my
so.
fans are all haters. Yours are all. All right, we can leave. Actually,
All right, well, we have the full. I hope you have the full call footage if you want to debunk anything that we say in our videos.
Nothing. I think it's pretty clear.
If you'd
Uh,
like the full footage, I could give it to you myself if you didn't record from the beginning.
Repeat.
If you'd like the full footage, I could give it to you by the end.
No. We've been recorded from the beginning. Don't
Okay,
worry.
yeah, okay.
So-
So that means you
Perfect.
can
Let's
show and
agree.
debunk anything that we say.
Keep
if you
on
do
doing
think
the
it's a lie.
content the way it is, and we will keep
Yeah.
it doing the way it is for us. And
Yeah.
let's
All right.
just.
I mean,
let's just
at least we know where we stand in the YouTube
definitely.
ecosystem.
And let's just cut it, and let's hope you make a lot of money, like you said, and let's hope that actually.
I sure hope so too.
Absolutely.
Well, let's hope your channel continues to grow and do whatever you're doing.
And let's keep children out.
I hope yours
Yeah.
too, of course, and let's hope that.
Thank you, Shappy.
At some point,
Thank
there are stricter rules on
it's
age.
like so fake, but I appreciate it, Shappy.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is, right? Fake. That's what you do.
Hey man,
Sure.
anything
Yeah.
to protect
All that
anything to
stuff is
protect the
fake.
kids,
You
anything to
got me,
protect
man.
the children.
Yeah,
You
we
got
know
me.
we know where we
So
stand.
fake.
We know where we stand. We know what our place is in the YouTube
Enough. If you
biosystem,
think you
ecosystem,
think you
whatever you
do
want to
so,
call
you
it.
think you do so. We think we do what we do, and that's it. If you're just like that, that's okay. Let's just end it. And nothing. It was a pleasure, anyways. I hope
It was a good talk. It was good to at least talk to you, the face of the channel. That was
Yeah,
Let's
I think we
actually
can drop it. I'm okay with dropping
Yeah,
it.
let's drop it and let's keep on going with
I mean,
whatever.
we're not gonna
we
ever
do.
agree. So
Okay. Yeah. Of
Alright,
course, we
yeah.
don't agree on many things, but that's it. Cheers, guys.
All right, fuck off.
Yep. See ya.
Bye bye.
Bye bye, Shappy. Bye
Fuck off.
bye.
Oh,
Ciao, ciao.
goodbye. What a
What a
twink.
fucking
productive
bitch,
call
bro.
it was. What a
Productive ass call, motherfuckers.
Oh my god. Yeah,
Well,
free
there's
money.
more for
Oh,
the books.
that
I'll
piece
pay
of
at
shit.
least 3 more times.
Bro,
Man.
how can you look at a screenshot like that and not say that that's a child? Seriously.
Yeah,
Are
I'm
we,
keeping
like,
this in
in
still
fairyland?
recording, by the way. I'm
What
still
bubble are
recording.
we
Yeah, I'm
living
still-
in? Look at it.
We got to get the post game. I mean,
Top
we have
comment.
to.
Isn't that a
bro.
child?
That's a-
Oh my god.
I had some
Come
audio
on.
issues like midway through, so
Yeah,
I will have to
same.
do a little bit of editing. But for the most part, I will do like completely unedited. Just keep it in.
Yeah,
So-
this is gonna be a fucking Joe Rogan uncut shit.
Yeah. I'm gonna
This
go
is
through and
2
censor,
hours.
obviously, which kind of
2
sucks.
hours. How did
Yeah.
we
I'll sit-
keep
I'll
him
sit
for
and watch
2 hours? How did he not crash out
I was
and leave
on
earlier?
bro's head like pretty early. I don't really. I think I waited for the 20-minute mark like the second it hit, and then immediately started shitting on him. So I don't really know, but he really. I mean, he was headstrong about that shit. He really wanted to get across the point that he loves kids, and he really did a
Yeah,
very
he-
good
he-
job at it. So
Dude, he
Um,
defended his f***ing characters' ages more than he defended him like us saying that, yeah, bro, you like children. I think that's such crazy work.
Yeah,
That
he
is
really
kinda
went on
just-
that
I'm not
point
gonna
as,
lie.
but like the second I said he likes children, like no, it's like okay,
Nuh-uh.
well, maybe let's dig into that a tiny bit. But hey, man, like we kind of knew this is the thing. I went into this call knowing that he's not going to have answers for these things because they're just simply
Yeah, I
the
know.
truth. So it's like it's kind of hard to have answers to that when you're just like objectively wrong.
Well,
It's
I
very
say he's
easily provable.
29. Like, come
The
on.
way the call gradually got louder. What the hell?
Yeah.
I'm looking at my audio, and it starts off so normal, and it just gets.
All right, well,
gradually
I think we all
louder.
I'm gonna
Probably
go ahead
good
and
to
end
hear.
my recording.
Yeah.
Subscribe to Beto, Glider Guy, MK, and Rith.
Yes,
Fuck
yes, yes,
Shappy
yes,
Sway.
yes.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm keeping that in.
W.
You know what? That's a perfect time to stop.
Bet.
Do I do the intro
Two.
like, live? Do I do the intro
Yeah,
live?
go on then.
All
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
I'm going to
yeah.
bed, and that's actually truthful. I've been up for like 30 hours. I'm going to bed.